keep it down? Sorry. I mean, it's like... It's noon. But seriously, guys, just try to keep it down, all right? Should you at least pick up the mail?
Mail's on the table.
Yeah! Hey, Chronic Master Chiefer, looks like we got a little piece of mail for you.
Really?
Indeedles. It is your sample ballot for the upcoming state elections.
Hey! I don't think I've ever voted for anything before.
How is that possible?
Oh, it just always seems like there's something more important to do. Die, Tartarus! Yeah! Oh! Eat plasma!
And the Yoda in the trailer of Yoda in Force Unleashed 2, I was really lame that, like...
It's not Frank Oz?
No, I've accepted that. But just the guy, like, just shows up on Dagobah. He's like, hey, who are you? I'm nobody. Should I go in this tree? I don't know. Maybe. I bet I won't see anything scary in this tree.
I don't know. Knock yourself out.
Oh, what a great way to kick off.
What have we...
Yeah, come on. Guys, stop it, boys. A good way to kick off TalkRadar with Henry's Yoda impression. Good
Really?
stuff. It's good stuff.
None of your business. It is fucking.
TalkRadar 117, the weekend before PAX. What? No, the day of PAX.
The day of PAX begins.
No, we're recording a little early. Excuse us.
EAX.
I'm Chris Antista.
I'm Michael Raparez.
I'm Brett Elston.
Cheer up, Brett! I'm going to bring you back.
I'm Henry Gilbert! Woo! Yeah.
Oh. And
What,
so
you dropping everything? Dropping a bunch of pots
This
and
is
pans?
gonna. You've been warned. This is going to be a sound effects extravaganza.
Okay.
It's everything but the kitchen sink.
Hopefully. I can't even play anything yet. But it's been a terrible week, or terrible day for everybody so
Boy,
far.
Yeah,
yes.
pretty much.
We lost our mixer, which that's what we use that for Trailer Trash, the podcast, Pokemon Monday, TalkRadar, Ustream.
Yeah.
And, well, we'll order you guys a new one, a replacement part. It's out of stock. Can we leave in 2 days? We leave in 2 days. And thank you to Tyler Wilde and Kelly and Kristen. We got this brand new mixer. It's huge.
It's like twice the size of the other one.
Nice.
It's huge.
Which is a footnote. Well, not a footnote, but it's just like a. I can't think of a good word, so I'll say it comes before when we actually have a podcast room in the works.
Oh, yeah.
In the works. So
In the works.
maybe
Now
it will actually be able to sit
need
still.
another microphone. Henry Gilbert rocking the Astro Gaming headset because our other headsets are broken.
Yeah.
Like in half.
In half.
The only time a headphone will split down the middle on your head.
That happened during the Butterworth one, didn't it?
It did. Harmonix people did it. Henry, it's
Yes.
been a while for you, right?
Yeah, a few episodes. I don't know.
I don't know
More
why.
than a month.
I don't know where I found this, but I did.
I love Pokemon.
Where did I get that from?
All right.
It was,
Probably a sound check for a Hank's
yeah,
Corner.
probably. No, it was probably a sound check for Pokemon Monday, our sister
Oh.
cast.
I was on there.
How is that going?
I was on there this week, and it was recorded early in the morning Monday, which was me waking up completely hungover.
Oh, man.
From Anamama.
We want to talk about that?
On a Monoguchi show on Sunday. I know Michael and I got way trashed.
Yeah.
Dude, my
Boy.
girlfriend asked if you both were on ecstasy.
Yeah, no, we were a little grabby maybe, but
Yeah.
What did I even do? I don't remember doing anything that made me suggest
No,
that I
no,
was
but
on
you were both giddy, a
Uh.
little sweaty, filled with smiles, and it was something like Michael had just said something hammered like, and you like almost fell into somebody, and you just, oh man, his shoulder's so soft. And like, Heidi's like, did they take ecstasy? I go, no, I don't believe that happened.
If there was a show worth doing that, oh my god.
That's great. It's
Anna Monoguchi's like the best. I've seen a lot of live music, but that's just, it's so happy
so
and-
supercharged.
and innocent, and everyone's there to have a
The
good
crowd
time.
was so into it.
And I played
Yeah.
Helix Nebula, and then I just jumped the fuck into everybody, and it was really great.
Yeah.
oh yeah, you did the mosh pit.
Yeah, it was
yeah,
fun.
man.
I tried to do the mosh pit. It didn't float very near me.
Didn't take with you?
No.
I
But
stayed
I
on
got
the
at the
outside.
edge of it.
But yeah, if you listen to this week's Pokemon Monday, I introduced it, and that is literally like it sounds like I smoked 8 packs of cigarettes and stayed up all night. It sounds awful.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it was like during the show I felt like I was 16 again, and then the next morning my body reminded me that it is not 16 and has not been for roughly 16 years.
Yeah.
And thank you to Marcos, Combo Pro,
thank you.
who at least got me in. I don't know about you.
Well,
No.
we got free drinks at the end.
There
of
was
the
a
night from
mix-up
them,
with the guest lists, but I don't mind paying for an Anamanaguchi
They're playing.
show.
They're playing again tonight at PAX. So if you're hearing this, you're not at PAX. So
but if we're going to try and have a meet and some kind of greet up. Let's
Yes.
call it a greet up.
yes, Saturday night.
Saturday night at GameWorks, maybe.
The idea is we'll go to GameWorks, which is near the convention center. Sega is actually having a party, and people are invited to it. And we're going to try to hook up the podcast equipment and our brand new huge mixer.
And we're gonna. And I was thinking maybe
Can't wait to take
we'll
that
have
on
a
the
wire. We'll have a wireless microphone. And
Yes.
we can potentially. I wanted just come up and talk on mic. Request a sound effect, maybe.
Yeah, we can.
Request a sound effect.
Are we going to take all this shit or just the mixer?
I don't know how we're going to get around it at the moment. So
Fair enough.
Trying week. Oh, well, we
And then
normally. What's up?
Oh, and then our panel on Sunday, which
Panel on Sunday.
So as far as I know, is me, Michael, Gary Steinman from PTOM, and Logan Decker from PC Gamer.
Gary just told me he wasn't going.
Gary is trying to weasel his way out of this.
Gary
and
doesn't have a flight.
He didn't have a flight yesterday, and I told him to get one. Oh yes, I'm going.
No, don't.
Oh yeah,
Don't do that.
oh yeah.
Maybe if I go and whine to him about how nervous I am, I'm like, I just really need somebody more experienced there.
I
said-
know.
I
He
told-
has so much experience.
Was just downstairs with Gary and Fran, and I said I would go on in their stead, but only if I could represent their 2 magazines and not Games Radar.
Yeah, Fran I knew wasn't going, but Gary said he wasn't. Now he's going to not go. You can't do that.
Yeah,
Well, if
Gary
you're
Bear.
nervous, you should ask our old pal AJ Glasser about it. 'Cause she was
Yeah.
she did a panel last year on like I think it was.
It's
Things
the
either-
future one, not a Future Plus Game Pro.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying that you should ask.
Every week, Chris.
Every week we do a top 7.
Oh,
I am going to shake things up a little bit.
Jimmy Carter is smarter. Scooby-Doo is...
Scooby Doo can do.
Don't get ahead of me.
What?
Don't get ahead of me. We're going there. We're going there. I had Twitter. I went fucking nuts on Twitter the other night. I guess it was last week after we'd done the podcast last
my
Thursday.
God.
I don't know if Michael is familiar with the Blam. The Blam, which may be the greatest thing ever.
Blam.
It doesn't hurt because it's too funny, and if someone told me it was a joke, I'd believe it.
Yeah.
But apparently, this is airing on the Disney Channel, and it's Disney editing. And I know this isn't games, so shut up. Shut up.
Are
Give me a little personal time.
Are we starting with
Yeah,
this?
give me a second. Give me a second. This is
All right.
building this uptick.
All right.
These are like all the old Disney cartoons that I fucking love.
Yeah, from like the 40s and stuff?
And yeah, from the 40s. Well, just like the one. You don't have to say from the 40s. Like I had no idea when I was a kid they were the 40s. My dad probably didn't know when he saw them.
Just the classic Disney stuff from...
Apparently, it's not fast enough. Okay, so it's been edited into 1 minute, and a man talks over them.
Oh my god.
And oh man, he's an entertainer. You got to hear this, Michael.
Welcome to Blam, the ultimate thrill ride through the world of Disney.
Okay, all right. Everything sounds good. We got a bunch of new sounds, not this old like.
Oh god.
And here, this is the one where Donald goes hunting. I forget the name.
Oh,
of
this
it.
is my
It's
favorite
beautiful.
fucking one. Wait,
It's beautiful.
first sentence I have a problem with.
I don't
Go.
know if I have this first sentence. Let me see.
Ah, the fancy schmancy countryside, where fancy pants people like this guy go hunting.
Okay. This
Smells
guy.
like trouble for him.
This guy is Donald Duck, by the way.
Well, they edit out all the dialogue and
Yeah.
all the music.
But
It's just
this
replacement-
guy, he's Donald.
First of all, fancy schmancy countryside?
Fancy schmeeds.
Is not the countryside like synonymous with fucking rednecks and hillbillies
Yeah.
and like what fancy? No,
Only fancy people go hunting, Brett.
Yes, only
Yes.
fancy people live in the middle of nowhere. What the fuck kind of backward?
Only
ass.
fancy fat fucking rednecks who hold teacups with their pinkies extended.
Yeah, hoity-toity Indians.
Drinking my rabbit stew tea.
It is most delicious.
Here's the,
I dropped my doily.
here's the next line.
What the
Donald.
hell accent was that?
Donald's got a couple
Angry.
of smell hounds with him. But the cartoon didn't move fast enough. It didn't convey enough.
Right.
So we have a man narrating it now, who I think also does Maximum Exposure. That terrible show where you watch people fall down. And he's like, shouldn't be stupid. You get for being gay. Here, this is beautiful. This is beautiful.
Who let the dogs out? Oh yeah, he did. Blam! Blam, blam!
Blam, it's important not to forget about this, that the word they're trying to get to is
Blam!
Blam. Anytime something like Goofy gets hit with a mallet or something falls on their
Anytime
head.
anything connects with another object.
So basically what you're telling me is this is one of those stupid-ass clip shows, but with Disney instead of, like...
But they're only a minute
Some
long.
guy inserted a camcorder in his urethra at high speed.
You're right. There's nothing special about it. But but it's excessively... Like, Brett, he tweeted back immediately, which even I don't know, I was like quite heartened by it. He's like, this is just offensive. This is just offensive.
It's like I laugh at almost any kind of horrible joke you can throw out, but I found these like legitimately offensive. Like you're taking a cartoon that actually has like a historical place, and like it has a reason to exist and was funny and timeless and is funny forever. And this is what you did
and
with it?
what they seem to think didn't work out. Let's see that again, an instant replay.
Yeah.
It's a fucking cartoon. It's meant to be played at a certain speed. Like, why are you rewinding one angle?
I want to see somebody do that for Citizen Kane.
We're going to... hey, dude, that's what we're here for.
So.
But what you need... I want to do our own edition of Blam someday.
Blam!
But you need your own Blam punch. You can't just go throwing out Blams everywhere.
He sure did.
But at least he got some bling bling. Or is it bling blam?
I love the echo. Bling blam.
He's a professional voice actor. He couldn't put enough emphasis on it.
Imagining a sound engineer sitting there with a perfectly straight face. It's like, no, I need a little more reverb on that blam.
No, that was too Trey Parker.
Yeah, no.
This is serious.
That looks like a delicious stack of blam cakes. Who's got the syrup?
Seeing your face is widening now. This is totally serious and airing on television.
You have to. What about his doctor?
Somebody call the blambulance.
Somebody should call the Blambulance.
They say
Blambulance.
But it should be Blamulance if he's got
That is true, Henry.
You don't say ambulance.
I wasn't compelled to write a letter about this until you just brought that up. But
And
this
you
is
say
the last one I
ambulance.
have.
Time to unleash some blam.
God, just so silly.
Only doing it for like over and over again for all these different cartoons that you already laughed at. It was perfectly acceptable in every measurable sense, and then they ruined it with this shit.
They took out all the old sound effects and then put them in because it's old, and then put in. They removed the 1940 sound effects and added Hanna-Barbera sound effects from the 1950s, which you've heard a lot of on this podcast. Someday you may
and then
hear
added
some
a
more.
super dated voiceover that will be like cliche. It's already fucking cliche.
It's already cliche. Like I thought it was like what Dak Shepard was watching in Idiocracy, like right after Ow My Balls. Oh shit! You can't discern what's happening on screen for yourself.
And all of them treat all those classic Disney characters like who the fuck is this guy? Who does this guy think he is?
What is he?
Donald Duck?
It's Donald Duck.
Put on some pants, you homo!
you doing? It was funny after you.
This guy's a mouse. He's wearing shorts, but not a shirt like humans.
We can all do
After
this.
you tweeted it, I saw Tim Heidecker. Also, somebody sent it to Tim Heidecker of the Tim and Eric Show.
It looks like something they
and
would
yeah,
do.
no, he commented like, "Oh, looks like we're out of a job."
It is fucking hysterical, and I like it's one of those things that should get so mad about, but it is too fucking funny.
It's so awful. I found it funny.
It is so.
It's like if it were
funny.
on Tim and Eric, it would be genius. But since it's being actually done straight faced, I don't know
cannot
what to
wait.
think.
And all this
ask a certain person at PAX about this.
Oh yes! Oh my god! I can't wait to see how much he hates it.
I don't say anything.
How this all happened as I was writing the Other M review, and the only strapline all day I wanted to put was Other Blam.
Yeah,
Did you capitalize the M at the end of Blam?
Yes.
I couldn't stop doing it on Twitter. Like, my girlfriend got in a fight. You just keep blaming people, and like she looked at my Twitter, and like I said to a woman, you have no idea how close you got to getting blamed. And she didn't see the rest of it. All she saw, she thought I was threatening to fuck some girl on Twitter. I'm sorry.
You sound like a regular Jean-Benet Blam.
Token girl STFU. She got me in trouble.
I wanted to find a way to do a what is a Blam, but a miserable pile of secrets.
What did I say to Elston? You just boarded a crowded train to Blam Schwitz. And I couldn't think of any other. Like Jim Sterling was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I said, "Blam it, Jim! I'm a doctor." You got hit with that. I was having so much fucking fun. My girlfriend was over, and just, what are you laughing at? Like, you don't understand.
I was trying to think of a Ku Klux Blam one, but there was no. I was just like, you'd made so many jokes. I was like, I can't think of any other words that rhyme with Blam, and the only one was Klan. There's only one way to go with it, and it's all horrible.
That you just try, and I think more importantly, and I said this all on Twitter, CNTista. I was dealing with trauma. That's essentially what was happening.
Yeah.
Something of mine was taken and run afoul.
Yeah.
I think I was dealing with something very traumatic for me. But whatever. Top 7. Speaking of sacred memories.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Speaking of sacred memories, what was the top 7 this week, Hank?
The top 7 that I wrote was the top 7 Nintendo games not made by Nintendo. And let me start off by.
You need to settle something
there's sort of a sticky definition here. So I only counted by Nintendo games. I meant Nintendo franchises. Not just a third-party game that Nintendo published, like Hotel Dusk.
Mega Man 6.
Yeah, or Dragon Quest 9 or whatever.
Yeah.
Those aren't Nintendo franchises.
Exactly.
And secondly, some people
Were people taking issue with this?
Well, some people pointed out, even though I answered them in the comments, why isn't Metroid Prime on this list? And that's because Nintendo purchased Retro Studios like half a year before that game came out, and they purchased it totally, so it was a first-party game long enough before it came out.
And I don't know about you,
like
but I'd never heard of Retro Studios before.
Yeah, but some people pointed out, well, Rare was purchased by Nintendo, and I was like, well, Nintendo only owned a fraction of Rare, and that happened after Donkey Kong Country. Same with Game Freak. Game Freak made Pokemon and then was purchased by...
You want to ease up on these spoilers, Henry?
All right, sorry.
For this 5-day-old article?
One of these I didn't know.
All right, sorry. Let's not... Well, all right. Let me restate that.
It's important to give the
I'll say why other ones do count that,
right.
while Metroid Prime doesn't.
I agree. It was something about Prime. It definitely is like, yeah, Nintendo's company EAD didn't make it, but Retro is still owned by Nintendo, so it's like...
Yeah, like they're a first party. They're not even a second party like other companies are. They're full...
I think you could have had Retro or Rare, one of the two.
Yeah, I didn't want it.
But Rare was still like, wasn't completely in Nintendo's pocket.
Exactly. And they're a bigger company. What has Retro done?
Just Metroid Prime games.
Yeah, Metroid Prime was their
the next
first
thing they're doing is Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Rare's got a legacy before and after Nintendo.
Yeah. Especially after. Number 7 in this top 7.
Number 7. Hold on, I have that sound effect out.
Oh wait, let me say the honorable mentions real quick. There was Mario Party, which is still an important series, even though I wouldn't say any one of them is better than something on this list. Kirby has had a lot of good games, but I couldn't really narrow it down to one. And what was the last one?
Because Kirby's HAL, isn't it?
Yeah, Kirby's HAL. And then the last one was most Mario sports games, but especially to me, I love the Camelot, Mario, tennis, and golf.
I do love those games.
Yeah,
those are really obscenely deep.
It was hard not to have those on there, but I think number 7 is more worth.
Number 7. What is number 7 for that?
Number 7 is Punch-Out! From 2009 for the Wii, which was made by Next Level Games, the Canadian studio.
Beautiful game. I got to post a bunch of the music for Game Music of the Day recently. That music is fantastic.
Yeah, Punch-Out! For Wii, I reviewed that, gave it a 9, and then we covered it for about 6 consecutive weeks in TalkRadar.
Nobody cared.
Nobody cared. Nope. Didn't sell well. But I mean, that's one of those cases where they made the exact game that Nintendo fans kind of stereotypically want, which is just a prettier
Yeah, I know. There was
version
one
of a game. Like, it's not like we've been saturated with Punch-Out games to
3
where, like...
in the series.
Yeah, 3
That's what
since,
you
like,
got.
1987 or whatever it was. I don't remember when the first...
I don't count the arcade ones.
Yeah,
No, 'cause
exactly.
You have to count arm wrestling.
Yeah, the arcade ones are really fucking difficult and
Yeah,
bizarre.
oh my god.
But, like...
They don't have that music.
I just can't believe that this didn't sell well. Like, Punch-Out to me was like one of those games that was kind of an equalizer growing up, and even when you got into the weird area where it's not cool to play games anymore, man. I'm 12 and 13. It's fucking go
Never
make out
cared.
with a girl. It's like, but I
Never cared about another boxing game before or since.
Yeah, and it's like,
Yeah,
but Punch
well-
Out. Everyone loves Punch Out.
Well,
So
because like I said in the thing that they got Next Level got that Punch Out is really a puzzle game. It isn't a boxing game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who is Next Level? Do they have a...
They made they made the Mario soccer games, Mario Strikers,
Oh, that's not bad.
and they made two, and then they also made Spider-Man Friend or Foe, which was
I really hate that fucking
so
game.
and they're working. Oh, and they also made the very poorly reviewed Transformers Cybertron Adventures.
Oh, for Wii?
Yeah.
Oh,
they
my
made that
God.
too. So
Really good.
you know they seem to do a lot better when they have Nintendo approving what they're making. But,
See. I see. Is that all? Is that all we have on Punch Out?
Well, I like that they kept all the what I said harmless stereotypes from the game.
Yeah, I did a whole article about those harmless
He
stereotypes.
didn't have fucking pizza. What was his name? Pasta Pizza.
I don't remember.
He's in the arcade one. Guess what race he is?
No, I know. Well, but that's why in the game
Pizza pasta.
in NES they softened it a little, like it was
Pizza pasta.
soda popinski and not vodka, drunkinski.
drunkinski. Jesus Christ! Like,
I've never understood the Piston Hurricane versus Piston Honda thing, though.
I asked about that, like, because he's Hurricane.
Well, they changed him to Piston Hondo in the Punch Out.
Yeah, in this one,
Punch-Out
in
Wii.
this one, it was Hondo because there actually was a problem with Honda.
is there?
Yeah, and Piston Hurricane, I think it was just because they wanted to name someone a different name.
Hurricane.
Maybe that was their fix to the Honda name in the second time. But yeah, there's only two new boxers in that
Disco
game as well.
Fever,
Disco
and
Kid.
Piston Honda is it's. I forget where I was trying to write that in the game music of the day. Piston Honda sprites are largely Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So he's kind of like all that's left of Mike Tyson in the series. That's Mike Tyson's exact body from the game.
Yeah,
There's Disco Kid and then the secret final boss Donkey Kong.
yeah. Which is really
Spoiler.
cool. It's just incredibly difficult to get to him.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god. I loved the shit out of that game. So
You kids didn't, and why do you think that is?
I don't know.
Too slow.
It is a little slow.
Too slow.
Well,
That's
it's
why-
only slow in the beginning because when it gets going, it's like you have to react extremely fast.
All right.
But it is just
All
like
right,
rote memorization.
All right, I'll grant you that, but
Yeah.
no more stepping on my segue.
Okay.
It's too slow.
It's too slow.
Okay.
I think it's about that time because I think we should give this a little blam.
Okay.
Like everybody make it a point to think up your favorite blam puns. Like I was gonna play the Punch Out music, but nobody wants to do that. Like you'd rather have that music taken out and put in a generic beat of yeah.
This could be anywhere.
Oh man, stepping into the ring with Punch Out. Float like a butterfly, sting like a... Bam!
Anybody else got one? I'm kind of light on this one.
I just got this idea.
Don't get hit in the head too many times or you'll end up like Muhammad Ali with Park and Blam disease. Blam! Blam!
Wait, that's what I had. I had a dick ton of anything you want. That's what it needs. That's why it's not working. I gotta turn this down.
Okay.
And I have to get my Hanna-Barbera sounds ready.
Now this is classic.
Now it's done. Here we go. Here we go.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a... Oh! Punch Out! Like Blam Out!
God, it's like fucking playing.
Hey,
It's like playing Cool Spot.
You can save them if you want. I think we should do this for all the games. Blam.
It's like Glass Joe just got hit in the blam.
Oh, Piston Honda, I'm gonna make him think another Blam hit Blam Gasaki!
God. Is it too much?
So much.
Hero Blammer!
You're right. This is a great podcast. Number 6. Number 6.
Hey, was it our idea to take this shit off the rails?
Number 6. Number 6.
Super Mario RPG.
Oh, I love this fucking game.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Some people felt it should have been higher up, but
It's strange. I never really played this.
Really?
Yeah. It's strange because it came out at the height of my Nintendo and Square Enix fandom. Square fandom.
Say what you wrote about it, because it really related to me.
well, just that I feel that the visuals are really dated now, but it was
At the time, it was the look.
yeah,
that they were going for.
it took the look of a later entry on this list. But also it was Nintendo's another try of Nintendo to make RPGs matter in America, which they never could. But this was their best shot. And
This is about the point where they were starting to matter.
yeah,
I was gonna
yeah.
say
well,
this
was
came out after Final Fantasy III, which had a huge launch.
Yeah.
And,
No, this-
Did it?
Yeah.
Was that a very successful game?
3/6. Yeah,
pretty. Yeah.
I mean, it launched. It was $80, and it was selling out.
It was
and
definitely, like, the
commercials.
most
Commercials were all
successful.
over the place. And,
But if you compare like how well it did to like Final Fantasy VII,
well,
like, it's nothing.
7 is a whole other reason and story
Yeah.
as to why that is. But,
But yeah, also it was the last real Mario game, unless you're counting Wrecking Crew '98 that only came out in Japan.
No
it
one
was
is.
it was the last Mario game for the SNES. It came out just a matter of months before Super Mario 64, and it was the last time Nintendo and Square really worked together. And it was
didn't Yoshi's Island come? Oh, it was before this.
But yeah, it was the last time Square and Nintendo worked together until like 2002.
I don't know if I'd ever actually pinpointed this, but this was my gateway game for the entire genre of RPGs.
Oh, yeah?
You can tell that's what they were hoping to do. Is
Yeah.
Nintendo wins because people buy a Mario game, and Square wins because hopefully people will then check out Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it's what completely I saw friends playing RPGs. I thought they were boring. Why are you moving in order and not
Yeah.
actively hitting anybody? I don't get it. And just the active battles of that, the ability to hit a button in time to
Yeah,
do more
the-
damage.
Yeah, they
yeah,
made it
this-
a lot more actiony.
This
Like,
definitely set the
like
stage
Mario.
Fantastic.
for like
Should be.
one of the best battle systems of any RPG is that like timing the button presses to get better defense or offense.
I don't know why games maybe did Nintendo patent that. Why doesn't somebody rip that off? Only the Paper Marios do that for the most part.
Yeah, Paper Mario does it. The Superstar Saga game does
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Mario and Luigi games in general do that. Bowser's Inside Story, which was
Well, that's-
also good.
That was another problem I did have with Super Mario RPG back in the day. Though, is that like the isometric view is not really doesn't really
Yeah.
work too well for platforming.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not great.
yeah.
But it has a great soundtrack, and it laid the groundwork for a lot of the reasons that I love, like Bowser's Inside Story and
Yeah.
Super Paper Mario and things
Paper
like
Mario is still my favorite Mario RPG.
But we want the kids to get this.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you know what time it is. Blam! Henry, who designed this game? Who helped oversee it?
Shigeru Miyamoto.
Oh, I think you mean Shigeru Blammo.
I did mean that.
I can keep doing this. No one wants to help me? It's all my improv.
Trying to think of something.
It's tough.
Mario finally gets to team up with his arch nemesis, Blamzer. And no reaction.
You team up with a little white guy named Mallow, more like Blammo.
Same joke.
Oh man, during battle sequences you have to hammer on a button to shoot fire blams!
Okay, if you're listening,
I'm not done.
If you're
Super horn.
All right, sorry.
if you're listening and find that incredibly stupid and offensive, that's how we feel about that Disney show.
That's the point I was trying to make. That's
not
how I felt.
funny.
That's how I felt when I saw those. That's how I should feel when you see those cartoons, trivializing everything that made something special
It's
for multiple
fucking not
generations.
funny. It's grating
at
as
the
hell.
behest of not making anything new and making this for the new generation. Fuck them. Fuck kids who find that appealing too. By the way.
Yeah. Kind of.
Oh,
Fuck
and
you guys.
here's one bit of trivia before we leave number 6. Though this was the last game where Princess Peach was known as Princess Toadstool in America.
Mario 64 begins with her saying Princess Toadstool. Really? Peach. Well, she says Peach right there. That's kind of where...
That's the moment where it's like,
Peach.
Same with, like, I remember in the first Sonic Adventure where, like, Robotnik shows up and then Sonic says, hey, it's Eggman. And then he's like, that's Dr. Robotnik. And then they just call him Eggman the whole rest of the game.
You got Blam, bitches.
More like
I'm the
Egg
only one attached
Blam.
to this Blam. Yeah! No! Henry, let me get the music back on.
I didn't want to start these.
This is a whole new soundboard. You don't make me waste these, so you can use them the entire cast.
More like Blamic the Blam.
Jesus Christ. That one's the worst because I know how long it is the second it starts. I'm like, fuck, the next 8 seconds are terrible.
Should we move on? Number 5.
Number 5 is F-Zero GX, which...
this will be the 3rd podcast in a row I think we've talked about this game.
Look, I love this shit. I don't want to even get started on this again, but I love F-Zero GX. I understand a lot of people like F-Zero X more. It's more metal and a little bit more serious than GX, and it's also... GX is incredibly difficult, but I love it.
GX looks so good.
It looks so good.
And also Rob the Robot's in GX.
Rob the Robot has cameo.
That's right. And it like a giant building or something?
Oh, yeah. I found a quote I could not believe from Shigeru Miyamoto. Which
I know.
He said that...
well, I got the quote here.
Okay, why don't you read it, Brett?
Well, who developed the game first?
It was Amusement Vision.
Yeah.
Who was part of Sega tapped them to do Monkey Ball.
Yeah.
Which is also a perfectly good game. So GX comes out, I believe, reviewed fine, and from my understanding, it sold pretty well. I don't think it tanked by any means.
Why is the laugh F-Zero then?
Well, because Miyamoto says in the past we've worked with some outside development houses on titles like F-Zero and Star Fox, and let me just say we were disappointed with the results.
Ooh.
What?
But that's all he said on that subject.
The fuck results? What? One of the best games your shitty system ever had? Like what?
What? I got a lot of sound effects.
Yes, the GameCube was not great, man.
Yeah, it's hardly their fault.
Yeah, but this was I mentioned this before. It was just like a dream thing of Sega and Nintendo coming together, and this was the game that came out of it. Like I was like beside myself and loved every stage, character, music. Like I did a game music of the day last week. That was this, and I was like, look, I'm going to embed 12 fucking songs in this thing, and that's not even a third of what's in this game, or like even a fifth. It's just so much music that's all over the place. It's really cool.
But I think the reason, my guess is the reason he doesn't like it is because the reason why they make the Mario Party games so easy is they didn't like how tough
it's that game balls, dude. It's really nice.
I know, but like Sin and Punishment's really hard, and that's like
that's true.
For some reason that's okay, and it's like, would it kill you to have one fucking really hard game in your stable of baby games? As someone who plays all of them, there's not a hard one in the
Mario
fucking bunch.
Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
I mean, more like Blammo.
Blammo, yeah.
Maybe our segment should be called Blammo.
Captain Blamkin.
But this isn't working, is it? Because the music bed. Hold on. Wait. That one might not be right, Henry. Give it a shot, though.
I can
Blamkin Punch. Oh wait, no, that should be for later.
I mean, no.
Wait, that's not right.
So anyway, F-Zero, baby. Oh, my bad.
Driving around here at 4,000 miles an hour.
Number 4. God, I want to do this more, and I know we can't. Donkey Kong Country.
That's right, Donkey Kong Country. Developed by Rare. The story behind that was like, Rare invested a lot of money in Silicon Graphics, which were big at the time, and then they showed that they could render these sprites that would look really cool, and then just like take those images and somehow shove those onto a Super NES cartridge.
It's almost brilliant. They rendered the images, made them into computer graphics, and then just turned that into sprites. sprite.
The 2D sprite.
It's 2D sprite.
I can't believe I lived through
But
that.
it tricked everybody.
I watched that again, another Disney documentary. Like, no one knows how Disney does it. How do they do it? They shot actors on film and fucking drew it.
Yeah.
Nobody knew for 30 years. Nobody else could do it or emulate it.
Except Ralph Bakshi, who does it every time.
Yeah,
Super
I guess.
obvious.
He did it a little 50 years late, but that's okay. I'm just glad you're in the conversation now.
Yeah, so they did that, and when
I did. You're right.
Bite my head off.
You got me.
When Nintendo saw it, they were very impressed, and they decided to hand them the Donkey Kong license, which Donkey Kong hadn't really ever starred in his own game before without Mario, and so this one took it and gave him his own little Disney-ish nephew to hang out
Donkey
with.
Kong 3? That ain't Mario, right?
Well, no, but he
it's an
fights Stu.
Exterminator.
Stu the Exterminator.
That's a fun game. Donkey Kong 3?
It's not bad. Like,
But,
it may be somebody's favorite oddball game.
Uh-oh.
Question of the week.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, but I never really... I played it some, and I was definitely impressed with the visuals, but I just never really got into Donkey Kong Country.
I love Donkey Kong Country.
Oh, really?
But, yeah, well, I'd hate it now. It's really stupid. It's a very mushy platformer with great music, whatever.
No.
this and
I
that.
love the music, and I actually still like the first one. I can play it. To me, it's one of those games that for some reason has worked
I
its
just
way
know
into
it-
my mind as like an infinitely replayable. Like, I'll never not like Donkey Kong Country, just like I'll never not like Star Fox 64.
I kind of lost interest in the sequels.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
why would I buy a game with Donkey Kong's name in the title that does not fucking star Donkey Kong?
Yeah. And by the time Donkey Kong 64 came out, I was just totally done with it.
Well,
I played a lot of that game.
that's a whole nother thing.
It came with an expansion pack. I had to
I
pick
was
it
just
up.
so sick of it by then.
So yeah, the reason this is on the list and not Retro Studios is Retro Studios Metroid Prime is that Nintendo didn't buy any part of Rare until after Donkey Kong Country came out, and they only bought a quarter of it. And eventually, Nintendo ended up owning 49% of it, which they sold in 2002 to Microsoft for tons of money.
Who have now made the avatars you use reluctantly every day.
Yeah, Nintendo really came out good on that deal. They really did. They were
Okay.
smart.
I sense
They
what's
got rid of
happening.
Rare right when they started to. We got no more ideas. We ran Donkey Kong into the ground.
Here's some pinatas.
How about Grabbed by the Ghoulies?
Though there is a lost Donkey Kong game because of that. That was like it's on. If you bought a launch GameCube like me, there's a screenshot for Donkey Kong Racing on the back of it. And because Star Fox was their last GameCube
Does that
game.
not
and they
appear
just shut it
anywhere in
down.
any form?
There was a trailer for E3 2001. And then I don't think there were ever like screens or gameplay footage, but I remember watching the trailer in my college at the time, like, oh my god, I don't care.
Yeah.
I really should care. What's happening to my Nintendo fandom?
That was a dark time.
God, it was like 7 dark years, and then it led right into Wii. So it's like all I have left is Zelda and Metroid, and then I don't like other M. So
we should
I'm
move
sensing
on.
what the issue is here. Hold on. I got one.
yeah, but I don't have a bunch of boring sound effects.
Swinging through vines, bursting through barrels, and catching bananas.
Is that a banana deflating?
Throwing barrels, more like throwing blammo.
Whoa, Henry! You didn't tell me to keep the music going.
I felt like we had to say blammo again.
Fucking balloon gets me every time.
He's a chimpanzee with a tail.
Knock over a bucket of
Jim
water.
Blamsy.
Look for a crate with fucking Brammy the Blammo.
Like, fuck! Hit them all.
Oh, that was a Street Fighter guy.
I can't believe I got it.
It's
all
gonna
right.
take forever.
No more.
Yeah, we
no more.
really should stop.
Super Smash.
Blammers!
By Blam Laboratories.
Yeah, it's true.
Laboratories.
So this is another one where Hal works very exclusively with Nintendo, and also Nintendo's president Satoru Iwata used to be president of HAL, but they still look very. Sorry, they're still third party, not Nintendo.
Wow, I think I killed my mouse.
So they're still third party. They're still third party.
Are they still third party?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They technically could. I don't think they ever will make a non-Nintendo system game with such close ties to Nintendo, but technically they're not owned by Nintendo. So
and they did Smash Brothers.
what was crazy to me was reading that like Smash Brothers, like they almost didn't bring it to America. They're like,
I remember that.
I don't think this could be very popular. This is too niche for Japan only.
And it really does. It looks like that exact kind of game that I would forever be like, why the fuck didn't you bring that over? I'm so glad somebody actually said, no, you really should.
Kids want to fight. What are you talking about?
I love how they got around it by, no, they're toys from a toy box, and this is play.
No, Mario wouldn't hit anybody.
This is playtime.
No, he jumps on animals. He doesn't.
The screen you have of Mario in here is like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
That's N64 graphics.
What is he doing here?
The N64 at its worst. Like,
Well, yeah, that's from the intro where they show each character and then they zoom
Was
in
that on an
it.
emulator?
yeah, it's on an emulator, so it's actually crisper than it.
Yeah, I know.
is.
It's just looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's such a God.
But I did play a shitload
so
of
much.
Yeah, I played a shitload of
So
Smash
much.
Brothers. I played more Melee, I guess, than anything else.
I think I played Melee a bit, but Smash Brothers was the one we played.
Yeah.
Me and my friends, because it was in 2000, right? Yeah, 2000. Or was it 2001?
It was
No.
2000.
It was 2000, and that was like
I actually thought it was summer of '99.
that was my junior year in high school and my friend's senior year. So it was like the last, before everybody left for college. We had we could spend every night or every afternoon after school hanging out and playing Smash Brothers like over and over.
So many people bond over Smash Brothers. It's fucking incredible. Remember how big that shit was when Brawl came out? We had to separate it into its own forum.
Oh yeah, it came out in '99.
No,
99,
fucking
right?
this Smash Brothers Brawl.
Oh,
Like
Brawl,
just
yeah.
everyone, like fucking Tyler and Anish, like you go downstairs from my apartment
Oh,
and
yeah.
they'll just be playing fucking Melee because for hours, like it still entertains them.
Yeah, something about Melee was Brawl.
Did you mean Smash Brothers?
Blam?
All right, that's it.
Smash Brothers. Blam.
But yeah, and also I think it's good that they haven't point out anything. It's also nice that they haven't milked it to death. Like they could have put out. Actually, I'm very surprised they never did a Smash Brothers DS. Like that would have been
yeah,
so
no, that seems
popular.
bizarre.
Like,
I keep waiting for that, which I named Smash Brothers Scuffle.
that would be good.
Yes, they tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, but then they never they've only made one game per generation, which is very, very surprising. It doesn't seem like that's going to change. It'll probably.
Well, I'm hoping they'll put one out to launch with 3DS because I think the way that the backgrounds work in Smash Brothers, I bet that could look pretty.
Oh, that would be so cool. Yeah, I do hope they finally make a portable version of that.
Yeah, I mean, if they fix their shitty online infrastructure, I mean, it'd be cool to play.
No,
Plus,
they're always the best-selling game, like in the top 5, like best-selling games on it.
Yeah.
The 3 systems it's been on, like
Yeah.
they have some of the most devoted fans, like anywhere.
Number
2.
Number 2. This was almost number 1, but I changed my mind last minute. But yeah, this is
You'll be able to explain that.
the Legend of Zelda Capcom games, Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages, and the Minish Cap. And
You know which one I like.
Yes.
it's the one you have a tattoo for.
And the titular hat.
So,
Did they
one
team
thing
up with Capcom for anything else ever?
not that I can.
I mean,
really,
it is like I guess
can't really think
they're
of.
entrusting them with like one of their
Yeah,
their
well, that
arguably
was something
second biggest
else.
property.
That was something else that I noticed compiling this list. That like Nintendo, handed out F-Zero probably because they had no plans to do
Yeah.
F-Zero internally. Same with Punch Out or Donkey Kong or any of that. Like,
no idea.
yeah, they
Yeah, it was like
didn't care
a
to
thing
make
they
it.
have they feel like there's no risk. Like if it tanks, who
Yeah.
cares? We didn't make it, and even though again with F-Zero, it's like F-Zero X. I thought was pretty well received.
I thought it
Yeah.
was too.
Scored well. Everyone that I knew loved it. It was a really cool game, and then they followed up with a game that they're not happy with, but I fucking love. God, you guys.
But so they gave, but then this is like the one instance of Nintendo giving admittedly it's a portable version of one of their two core Mario or Zelda, but
But at the time
Like,
of the
it's a big
two,
deal.
the two Oracle ones, like they look just like Zelda. Like it.
yeah, no, they're exactly like they're not
Link to the
really
Past
not Zelda.
shit.
I mean,
Very
they're
well.
Link's Awakening sprites retooled.
Yeah,
into a
it's
game.
definitely they use the Link's Awakening sprites. pretty well. But
and I mean, they came out on Game Boy Color in I think May of '01. So Game Boy Color was getting a bit old, and it was right before the GBA came out.
Mhm.
So it was kind of like, well, we could toss 2 Zelda games out at the last minute and make a bunch of money
same day.
on the same day.
Same day, it's crazy.
Bizarre.
And it was really weird, yeah, because that was like, if you didn't like, I mean, Majora's Mask was in 2000, but I didn't cotton to that because it wasn't a real Zelda game as far as I was.
Whoa!
It is. I just don't like it. Whatever. But I mean, Ocarina was '98, so it had been 2.5 years really since you'd had like what you'd consider a traditional Zelda experience, and then 2 on the same day, and I was like, I can't deal with it. Like 2 of them on fucking same day.
Man, Ages had some of the hardest fucking puzzles. Like,
Ages,
ever.
I just gave up. Like,
I did not beat that one.
But Minish Cap then came out in January of '05. Again,
They kind of buried it. Like,
they did. It came out in the fall, I think, in the UK and Japan, and then they didn't release it in the fall in the US in '04 because they didn't want it to compete with the launch of the DS.
Yeah.
So it got bumped to January of '05, and then I played it and loved it. And then I feel like everyone that actually bothered really likes it. I know one of my friends from home is not too keen on it because whatever.
No, I liked it a lot. It was really good. It had like such a pretty game.
It was really
so
pretty, and I
colorful.
felt like it escaped a lot of the Zelda conventions while also adhering to a lot of them. Like it was able to do a cool Zelda game with no Ganon. It had a cap on his head that was a very vocal person. There's a lot of talking and a lot of text and a lot of personality, where most Zelda games don't have that. And also just like you didn't have a lot of the same weapons. You had like the claws that could dig and the whole shrinking and growing thing.
Yeah, the miniature world was so cool.
Yeah,
it made all these, like, because it looked like kind of a small map at first, but then when you think about how like you can
how
shrink,
small you get, I really like Minish Cap, and I don't really feel the need that we need another one of these, but I feel like Capcom kind of proved they can handle this. So.
Yeah, they could. I think I believe not too long after that, like Flagship Studios, which was the subsidiary within Capcom that did it, like they just got assumed into Capcom and stopped existing as their own separate studio, and that was about the same time that Nintendo seemed to decide that they were going to start developing portable Zeldas again for the DS.
And I did enjoy Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. I like them both.
Yeah.
But I still would not mind a really gorgeous 2D sprite Zelda from Capcom, like in the same style, like on the DS that looks like fucking gorgeous. Like
Somebody call the flambulance.
I know.
I don't know what to do.
Say something about Zelda, Chris.
I like
Minish Cap, more like Minish Blam.
But hey, I'm back.
Number one.
I couldn't afford any of these systems and never got that.
Number 1.
I liked Minish Cap.
Wait,
Oh, also about Minish Cap. It's the only Zelda I've beaten without, like, I've beaten many Zelda, well, not many, but most Zeldas, but I always do it I play halfway through, and then I just like, this is too much Zelda, and I take like a 2 to 1 year long break,
right?
And then I come back and then I beat it. But Minish Cap was the only one I played all the way through, no break.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I did feel like it was a nice balance. It was just long enough.
Yeah,
my
just
goodness.
long enough.
Number one.
Number 1.
Is Pokemon.
Pokemon's.
Because Game Freak, I saw in the comments someone said like they thought
Pokemon. I love Pokemon.
All right. These buttons have to be used, people.
Someone said they were like, oh, I thought Pokemon was a cartoon first, and then it was turned into a game.
That's insanity.
And it's like, no, this was actually Game Freak was like, we don't have much of a track record. Let's take a total shot in the dark with this weird idea one of our guys had. Yeah. Oh my God, you made a fucking industry out of your idea. Not a successful game, an industry.
He said he liked collecting bugs. What if I made a game like that?
And
13 movies.
Yeah,
13
like
show that has
million.
The show hasn't stopped, right?
No, it's in its 12th
still going.
season.
Oh yeah, that's here's a bit of trivia. The Ash character in Japan's name is Satoshi, which is named after the creator of Pokemon and head of Game Freak, Satoshi Tajiri. So there you go. But yeah, like they basically created they also created the idea of selling you 2 of the same game as well, which many people copied to much.
But they did that right at
annoyance.
the gate, right?
red
it
and
was
green in Japan.
Red and green in Japan, yeah.
How do they know? How do they know?
It's like one of those idiots. Like, no, they're not gonna buy it twice, are they?
Well, it was just
and then everyone did. Oh my fucking god, that worked.
It's pretty much the same game.
Well, the
Let's
idea
do it
was
with
so
Nintendogs.
ingenious, that you just had. There were just some exclusive Pokemon to one game or the other, and so it was meant to make you trade, but you could also just buy
I see,
both.
Yeah, it was all about the and like that whole like handheld co-op thing, which is huge in Japan now, like with Monster Hunter and the new Ace Combat that came out this week.
But yeah, with the
It was like the idea of link cable.
Sorry, that was one button.
The link cable and trading, like that was a much bigger deal there.
and the Game Boy was getting so old, but like it was perfect for it. It worked great. Like it's not a graphically demanding game. It's actually like at its core, it's a very old school JRPG.
It's super dense.
Yeah.
Really demand. Like
What would happen if
time-consuming.
like it ever caught up with graphics?
I don't know. Like
Pokemon.
I still want a Pokemon MMO like that.
Seems stupid that it's Nintendo actually. Yeah. Of course they won't do an MMO.
No,
Yeah.
of course.
It'll
Never.
take them 10 or 15 years.
Yeah, they'll never do it. They're 10 years behind everyone else that knows what an internet is.
Yeah.
So when they
just got around to cutscenes in Other M.
Exactly. Other M, they finally like got to where PlayStation 1 and 2 kind of were, but it's like, yeah, these cutscenes aren't
I
great.
was getting a little bit of a Warhawk vibe off of the Other M.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned in the review that Other M's story gets really good in the end, but like that's only if you're like a huge Metroid fanboy, which I am, and a lot of it
leading up to where you wanted to go.
Yeah, the twists that were there are good. It's still told with pretty crappy dialogue and direction that's reminiscent of PS2 days.
Is there anything else notable about Game Freaks?
Well, just a lot of people forget the Game Freak. Like they had a history before Pokemon. Like they made,
I
forgot Yoshi's Cookie. They made.
I love that. I hate that game.
They made Mario and Wario, a Super NES mousepad game that only came out in Japan. And they also made a Genesis game called Pulse Man, which just got released, which was Japan only until it got put on Virtual Console. You ought to download it.
Oh, really?
And then there was also, they made the only post-Pokemon launch non-Pokemon game I can think of them making was Drill Dozer.
Drill Dozer.
And that was
I
a
love
fun
Drill
game.
Dozer.
I liked
I
Drill
reviewed
Dozer.
that.
for
Pretty
the
cool.
GBA.
I was trying to review that while this girl I was dating like
Blew you?
Huh?
Nothing.
Blew you.
Fisted you?
Closer? It was like right after I moved here, so I still was like half dating this girl from back home, so it was like a long distance relationship that sucked ass and was horrible. And I remember like sitting at my desk here playing Drill Dozer, trying to not focus on God damn it, what the fuck am I gonna do? This sucks, this sucks, and then trying to write about that game. It's a big drill and you hold R, fucking 7. Can we leave? I gotta get on AIM and talk to my girlfriend.
I like it. That was one of the first games I emulated.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You didn't get didn't you get the vibrating drill
Yeah, you
pack?
can rumble.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
that's
right.
the
I
whole point
guess
of it.
I never played it then.
No, you got only 79% of the game.
Turns out I did. I got all my badges or whatever the fuck you got in Drill
More
Dozer.
like drill bams.
So number 1 was Drill Dozer, and and
The end.
we good? We good?
any of
The
your-
end.
do you
We
wanna
got
go
a
to the
break.
bonus entries?
You don't have any idea from your bonus entries?
Well, no.
We do
it's-
have a little
More like
bit.
Blamus entries.
Super horn.
there's one perfect for it. Yeah, I mentioned the CDI games, which include Hotel Mario and Legend of Zelda: The Wand of Gamelon. Or maybe The Wand of Blamalon.
Let's just we got a break. It's very, very long, this segment. We're going to go to break. We get back new releases and other stuff. I don't know what to talk about.
Hey everybody, it's Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, and you're listening to TalkRadar on GamesRadar.com. Dig it!
Hey, it's the one and only me with something new for you.
Yes, it's Yogi's very own Yogi Bear Game Cloth with everything you need to play 8 different games. There's the Yogi Bear Target game.
To test your aim.
The exciting Jellystone Park cross-country race. Even a regulation checkerboard with a full set of 24 checkers. 8 games in all.
So you and your friends can play all day. Hey!
It's easy to get this colorful plastic game cloth set. All you need is one box top from a regular package of Kellogg's Corn Flakes or Rice Krispies and 50 cents in coin. Mail to Game Cloth, Box 712, Detroit 30, Michigan, using the handy order form on the back of the package. And as Yogi himself says,
In no time at all, you'll be having a ball. Hey!
I'd buy that for $1.
Talk Radar. This show am good.
Ivy the Kiwi, Ivy the Kiwi, Ivy the Kiwi.
All right, Ivy the Kiwi. Talk Radar 117, segment 2. I will stop.
You promise?
I will stop.
I feel like your point has been made.
Talk Radar is a show about lessons, and one of the lessons we learned there was Hanna-Barbera sounds make everything cooler. Everything cooler. This one.
So what are your feelings as such a Disney aficionado? You have a clear poor opinion of Hanna-Barbera.
What opinions on what?
Opinion of Hanna-Barbera.
That's just bizarre. Disney's always been like of way better quality than the studio that doesn't exist anymore. The last thing Hanna-Barbera did with their cartoons was put them in Harvey Birdman and fucking Space Ghost and make fun of how shitty they are.
Well, I mean, technically Hanna-Barbera does Dexter's Laboratory and Samurai Jack.
Not anymore. I think it's all a Time Warner thing. That has nothing to do with Hanna-Barbera.
What put Hanna-Barbera on the map was that they were like, we can make cartoons original for TV. Like, no, you can't. It's like, we can just spend no money on them.
The thing is that Hanna-Barbera kind of saved the idea of TV animation.
It did.
Because it was way too expensive, and so they came up with this really cheap, kind of ugly way of doing it, and they found out kids don't actually care whether it looks good or not.
It's
they just
talking
care if
dog.
It's a cartoon. Exactly.
Blue.
I mean, it's better animated than
this one's a sheriff.
Cargo.
Nope.
Or whatever.
Oh, Jesus, Clutch Cargo. It's better animated than a book. That's
what Rocky and Bullwinkle had better animation.
But the writing was fucking stellar in Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah,
it's fucking awesome.
But the one thing I noticed talking about Hanna-Barbera is that there's a real gay subtext to it, especially Yogi and Boo Boo sleeping in the same bed, and Snagglepuss is just he's 100% gay, and there's not a woman in it.
Henry. I'm trying to do them all.
Most of them are team ups of just Augie Doggy, Doggy Daddy, and
what about that?
And the little
not left wolf. Even. No?
What about that bear with the skirt that?
There is that bear.
Or Penelope Pitstop.
So good.
Well, she's 70s. I'm not counting. I'm only counting
Penelope Pitstop.
Yeah, from Wacky Races.
That's a fucking porn name.
Pretty much.
Meet her at the truck stop.
Pretty much.
There's actually a whole episode of Harvey Birdman about all the different.
Dick Dastardly.
There's Dick
It will be my porn name.
And she won.
There's Liquid Man.
All right, can I do one? During the last segment, every time I did this sound effect, I almost lost it. Let me see if I'm over it. I'm okay. I'm okay now.
That's the sound of when Ren is choking Stimpy, and then
when he gets
Stimpy's head.
That's the sound of Stimpy's nose deflating.
It's the sound of me watching Blam. Only in that they're using Hanna-Barbera sound effects, which are always lesser than. But if you look at a Disney cartoon, and I don't want to go off on this too much. Cartoons on TV now, you just see them from one or two perspectives, and Disney always had there's way more going on in every fucking second, every frame of animation. The grass is nobody animates grass. Right. That's stupid.
Speaking of animators, I'm sad to want to say I'm saddened by the loss of Satoshi Kon.
Yeah.
Even though none of you guys.
It was.
All right, but he was
the animator.
He was the only animator outside of Miyazaki's company.
I'm just not very familiar with his work. I'm not very familiar with his work.
He made Perfect Blue. He made Millennium Actress, Paprika, Tokyo Godfathers, and the TV series Paranoia Agent.
And you had mentioned, or somebody had mentioned that he was good to gay characters.
Yeah,
and
our old pal Christian Nutt brought it up.
You had mentioned that Yogi are gay characters. Again, this is a show about lessons. Lessons, and the gayness brings me to this other segue. Last week I yelled at somebody on the podcast who sent me a message about Scott Pilgrim gayness.
Yeah.
He
should have had a spoiler warning.
He apologized.
Oh, really?
He apologized, and I wanted to apologize to him because my own homophobia was exposed through our erotic fan fiction.
Oh, that. Yeah.
And it's the act and the description of Michael and I fucking each other didn't bother me for a second, but the cooing and the implication of looking longingly and the passionate kisses, literally right when Paul said it wasn't but true the love part became so icky to me, and it wasn't about. I hope it wasn't about just Michael. I don't think it was. I think you'd be a great lover, but just how skeeved out I was, and I didn't really understand that. So see, I can be a little homophobic
I don't think that's homophobia. That's just your sexual preference.
I thought that I was grimacing at the idea.
I think it was intentionally the way it was written. It was meant to be creepy. I mean, who the fuck says lovey mugging kids?
Evidently, you do.
I do not.
Into my ears, I fall asleep.
That was the first time in my entire life that word has ever left my mouth.
You know what we should do live on the podcast?
What?
Butterfly kiss.
Ugh.
Okay.
Oh, they're doing it right now.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Holy shit.
You feel that?
I don't know what this is, but it's happening.
I wonder if
I agree with Michael. The way that was written, Michael is the top in that story.
Yeah. That's okay. I understand that. I understand. He's earned that. He's a senior editor.
We should move on.
Oh, Christ.
We should move on.
Don't look for that on YouTube.
I don't remember. Oh, fuck. What is it? It's Flab Slapper. He did it.
Yes.
It's Triforce Sex. And Batman, he misunderstood my tweet. Yeah, I would get fired if I tweeted that picture.
Oh, yeah.
But it's fucking awesome. And it's
hilarious.
Oddly, one of the great... I was showing it to our art guy downstairs. He's like, dude, look at the... no lines. He's perfect. These perfectly matches up.
And the heads are just terrifyingly appropriate.
Yeah, and I don't know what picture that is of me where you can see lines in my neck as I grimace as Michael fucking rams me. Batman 5273 on Twitter. I can't post that anywhere. I don't even know if I can post the video, and the video is also disturbing.
Oh my God! Yeah,
it's on YouTube. And at the end of the video, how many of you made it to the end of the video?
I did.
Heidi made it. Heidi was watching it. Look at the end of the video, and it's our photoshopped heads, but he got my open mouth, and a guy with his legs wrapped around my neck and cock fully shoved in my mouth. The only reason I can guess it's still on YouTube is your cock is completely obscured by my tonsils.
Yeah. That would be my guess.
At the very end of the video.
Wow.
I have no idea how it's still on YouTube.
That's what GamesRadar.com/forums is for.
That's why we're different.
Yes.
Speaking of GamesRadar.com/forums, I'd really like to see that action figures fucking thread take off and keep thriving.
Yeah.
Are you mad that
I agree with Brett that it feels wrong. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Of course it feels wrong. That's why you do it.
I just don't like action figures fucking. Although when they're not my figures, I find it funny. So the thread in the TalkRadar General forum is a bunch of Gundams doing it. My favorite one is the pink Gundam that just got his legs spread and his hand grabbing his crotch. It's he's not even doing any other robot. He's just
Did you see mine?
No, I didn't.
I got Tails fucking Fat Homer while Fozzie Chewbacca looks on. And I have Mega Man fisting Sweetums from the Muppet, giant. And while Speedy Gonzalez gives a Moroccan thumbs up. And I have
Morocco?
Yeah, I know it came out wrong.
Yeah.
Expected to get busted by Michael on that.
I have no idea what that is.
Morocco?
And then Captain Caveman fucking Rush the dog to the disapproval of a Gus the Gremlin from the upcoming Epic Mickey game that I had a figure of for some years. That figure out why I'm excited about that. Shit! New releases.
Other M technically came
out. Other
this
M is
week.
out.
We talked about it more last week.
You seem justified with your review score.
Yeah, I gave it a 7 last week. Review went up on Friday, but the other reviews are in, and I mean it's averaging, an 80 or something on Metacritic. There's some 9s out there, and I'm just totally baffled by these 9s.
I think there's people who sort of ignore the cutscene. I was reading something about it.
I think you'd have to ignore everything except the word Metroid in the title.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's the legacy it carries.
Metroid.
I know.
Really,
like,
really big.
Some,
to me.
like the gameplay they like, but like the things that the elements they try and make Metroid, you don't like.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
For people who don't have a history with Metroid, it doesn't bother them.
Well, the reviews are almost all by people who knew the series and are like, it really brings the old stuff to the fore and gets the new stuff right and reinvents the stuff. Like, no, I thought everything I tried to update it did wrong, and only near the end of the game does it start pulling all this stuff together, and then it's like, okay, if it had started like this, and I don't know, just the entire the effort to get to the point where it starts to get good. And even there's a lot of people complaining about the story, and like I just said in the last segment, like if you really like Metroid, I didn't find what was happening in the story was really cool. Yes, it was with some dumb dialogue, but like to have that in a Nintendo game at all with the cutscenes and all this dialogue, it's really strange to have a 15-minute cutscene in a Nintendo game. Like it's really interesting, only from that level, and that's why I can't like fully recommend it. But can read that review, other M review.
Also competing with that this week, Disney's Guilty Party. Which I believe the Game Trader Estrogen went out to go party with that.
They went to a guilty party.
Guilty party.
Guilty party.
Did anybody return any knowledge of the game?
Carolyn said it was the best spread of food she's ever seen.
Yeah, that tells me a lot about the game.
She said, "Oh man, I wish I had gone to it because at a lot of, if I may review the food at some events, a lot of them they have one spread that's okay, and they might bring around some nice hors d'oeuvres and stuff. But she says there was like a whole room just for dessert, and then like two other separate spreads, and then also just people walking around with fucking like gourmet sliders and like.
There's also a rack of lamb.
Yeah, sliders are crystal burgers for you kids in the South.
White Castle burgers.
And Valkyria Chronicles 2 came out on PSP.
Yeah.
I don't want to see how that fared.
It's got an 83 average. Carolyn is actually reviewing it, and it should be up today, Friday.
I know plenty of people loved it.
I
loved the original. It's such an odd fit to have the official sequel on PS2.
I know. I really like
the stupidest.
I was kind of interested until I heard the words dating sim, and then my brain just shut off.
What?
There's a dating aspect
that
to
corner of my brain just went dark when I heard that.
Oh man!
If it was on the PS Triple, I'd have been totally into it.
This is coming from someone who recently endured the first 45 minutes of Persona 3 on PSP. I didn't get to play anything, so I'm not. I don't know. I don't have any comments.
That's the closest thing to a bad thing I've heard about that game.
Well, what's weird is neither the box,
the first 45 minutes,
the box front and box back of Valkyria Chronicles 2 make no mention of the entire you're in a school full of kids and they're dating and relationship. It makes no mention of that.
Is it really an official continuation from the first game?
Yeah, it takes place after it. As far as I know.
Yeah, I mean it's a numbered sequel.
I know, but
2 years after the conclusion.
I didn't play a lot of the first one, but I just don't remember that.
But it's so nice if it had just been a subtitled side game or something.
I don't get why they. I remember it was some podcast. I don't remember which one it was where we were talking about Valkyria Chronicles 2 being announced, and I was like, "That's so cool!" And I was like, "Wait, PSP, fuck."
I'm predicting a lot of dialogue boxes and a lot of sliding figures coming into screen.
And it's like the thing was, the Canvas engine looked so good on PS3.
It was such a beautiful.
It was one of the top
game.
7 prettiest games of 2008. You know,
I do.
It's still one of the prettiest games,
and it's still a gorgeous game. And to put it on PSP is just blah. I mean, the PSP can't have good-looking games, but I mean, you're following one of the prettiest games on it.
That's what happens when only Japanese people buy it. Also, new release, not Japanese, Battlefield Bad Company 2 Ultimate Edition.
It's the opposite of Japanese.
Yeah, it is the opposite of Japanese. Includes it opens with Japan, does it?
No. It's in present day Bad Company.
Yeah, but it opens with World War II.
Does it?
Yeah.
I haven't played it.
No. Battlefield Bad Company 2 Ultimate Edition includes Onslaught Mode, VIP Edition, VIP Limited Downloads. But this is cool. Battlefield 1943. It's on the disc.
If you haven't got it yet.
I almost deleted it the other day to put Monday Night Combat on my machine.
Monday Night Combat's so good.
Really fucking good.
Everybody talks about Limbo, and Limbo is good, but Monday Night Combat is like the secret.
Which I also just
game.
played, and I don't. I know I'm the last one to say it, but Limbo's fucking rad.
Yeah.
Limbo's amazing. Kid killing is my double rainbow.
It is really great.
Love it.
What does it mean?
Love it. Wait, I'll jump back to this because Michael, I was very glad Michael found this. We posted an article about it and forgot to play it on the podcast, I think. In Mafia II, the NPC in the prison yard Let's set this up.
All right, so Chapter 6, I think, the main character...
You're not doing any other new releases?
Yeah.
Vito gets sent to prison, and you can walk around in the yard and ask for... The prison yard, ask for this guy he's supposed to look up named Leo. And as you're walking around, you just find this one guy. He's just kind of crouched and muttering to yourself, and if you listen to his muttering, this is what you'll hear.
I'm glad you stopped to listen to his muttering.
Yes.
The war. The war is just beginning. All your base, are belong to us. To us. Someone set us up. Yes, they set us up. The bomb. You are on the path of destruction, with no chance to survive. Make your time. All of you, make your time.
God.
No chance. No chance to survive. All your base.
Yep. And if you talk to him, he screams and runs away and just resumes the monologue.
That's him anyway.
Wow. But yeah, you know, if you're just too in the moment and too convinced that you're actually in the 40s, go up and talk to this guy.
Nothing like a 10-year-old internet meme.
Soothingly, break you out of it with an internet meme.
Like a 15-year-old one.
Yeah, it's really fucking old. It's getting up there. Love the song, though, and I've never really been able to confirm who does this song.
The Invasion of the Gabber Robots?
Is that who it is? Not the laziest men on Mars?
Base.
I had, just at the beginning of, fucking, I don't know, Napster, where everything is incorrectly credited to people.
Yeah,
mine was everything is credited to Weird Al.
Oh, yeah, they might be giants who do, I have, 16 tracks by them about fucking, drinking Heineken. They might be giants.
The one I had was called Invasion of the Gabber Robots, so that's what I always called it.
That's Zelda song by System of a Down.
System of a Down.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Amanda corrected
The wild days of Napster.
The wild days of Napster. It's over now.
What was that called? The real band was what? Rabbit's Foot or something?
Rabbit something, yeah.
Rabbit something.
Also new releases this week.
Yes.
Excuse me, release Ace Combat Joint Assault. Elston.
That's true.
Regale us.
Would you need to assault some joints to enjoy that game?
No, it's all right.
Okay.
Boy. I got it on Friday, took it home, played it Saturday, Sunday, beat it on Sunday. Game took about 2 hours and 16 minutes to beat.
Whoa! Wow.
Which is the case with Ace Combat X, which came out in 2006. They're short-ass games, but there's some branching paths, so if you really
What's the replay value, then?
Well, there's the whole thing with this one is co-op. The whole bit is... The whole campaign is co-op, online or local or online infrastructure. You can play 4 players through the whole game. There's a bunch of multiplayer modes that are kind of left over from Ace Combat X from 2006 as well. So the big thing is co-op. Ace Combat 6 on 360 really should have had that, and it didn't. It had a couple, 2 co-op missions when the whole game should have been co-op. So this one is cool, but it's on PSP. Who the fuck cares? It was a huge hassle just to play because it took forever to get my PSP set up to play online. I forgot completely how to do it, and everything I tried to do was another hurdle. And you must sign up for PSN, and PSN requires a 31 meg download. My stick's only 32 megs that came with the system. I didn't buy a PSP last week that comes with a gig stick or whatever. It's just so many fucking hurdles. But even when I finally play it, it's well, I hate the controls of a PSP for Ace Combat, not the PSP itself, but just you need 2 sticks, you need all 4 shoulder buttons, you need a lot of controls. Why do you think flight sticks are so fucking complicated? So when they make a PSP one, it's just this shitty analog nub that hurts my thumb after an hour of playing, which is 50% of the game. And then trying to use your index fingers for throttle and brake the whole time. It's after an hour of constantly looping and targeting and doing all these trying to do and putting on an expert control so it doesn't handle like a bag of fucking bricks. You have to use the D-pad to use the pitch and yaw of the plane to straighten it out. It's just fuck this. It's so uncomfortable to play. The game itself is okay. The missions are really derivative of other games, so it's I already did this exact thing in another Ace Combat game with better graphics and better controls, so why would I want to do it here?
It's on PSP now.
It's on the PSP now, so it looks worse and plays worse. Great.
You can take it on the go.
Take it on the go. But it's full of little shout-outs to the some other games. There's a lot of unlockables.
Raspberries.
There's a Rosgrees reference.
Is there really?
Only because every Ace Combat, when you beat it, you can start unlocking more and more of the jets.
Can I play in the next break? Can I just play the mystery game?
Yes, you should.
Oh, Jesus, people! I'm sorry to play reruns, but it's a 4-minute old clip.
Oh, it's
good.
And it's if they had really literally just released this on PS2, I would have been like 7. This is fine. It's a fun game, and it's kind of derivative, but the things here are fun. But then there's still some problems. Like the last boss, I fought for like 45 minutes because I was shooting missiles at him, and I was literally watching him like move out of the way as if he were a PSD layer, and someone was just dragging him across the screen. Like, no missiles hit. No, not this one either. And the whole time he's, ha ha! I was abandoned by my parents, and I'm here to kill you. I was always destined to fight you, Antares Squadron. And they keep calling you Antares Squadron, but you're one person. Like, it's just the whole fucking game is just like the controls are terrible. Why would you want to play this on PSP? Just why the fuck does this exist? So I'm kind of like baffled. Like,
the question happens anytime someone reviews a PSP.
Well, it's the same thing with Valkyria Chronicles 2. It's like, literally, why didn't you put this on PS3? Or, I mean, I know Assault Horizon is the next Ace Combat, and that's the big one they're pushing for. And I think if they take the ideas from this one, the online co-op, there's actually some missions in this where it's 4-player co-op, but 2 of you go to one mission, and 2 of you go to a completely different mission. But the missions are linked. Like, things you do in this one affect their progress over here. So that's a cool idea. You 2 people fighting over on one side really affect 2 other people. So do that on the consoles, and I'll give a shit. Because right now I really don't. I played some stuff co-op. I played some of the versus modes, and this is one of those games where the versus modes are like, you know, when you play Call of Duty or Battlefield, and you play, and everyone's like leveled up, and they've got cool guns, and you're like, wow, that'll be great when I finally get those because they're really kicking my ass here. Imagine everyone's flying in the coolest jet in the world, and you've got the one that starts the game, and it flies like 10 miles an hour.
That's how I felt when we were playing Blur.
Yeah, it's even worse because like the planes, like if you want to really grind the game for money, you unlock these jets that are like physically fucking impossible, and they're just like ready go, fucking like impossible physics, and you're dead like 7 times before your first plane has hit the ground. Like it's unbelievable. Like I'd have to play and I already did play 2 hours and beat the game. That's the game. That's the campaign. That's what they're selling it on. Like
2 hours,
even co-op. You'd still take 2 hours to get through the campaign. So it's all that's left is, are you going to grind forever to get cool jets for the online multiplayer? I doubt it. So it's just really hard to, like, it's only for, like, super dedicated Ace Combat fans that are even more dedicated than me. And I go to some Ace Combat forums like Electrosphere and Ace Combat Skies. Those people are really out of control. Like, not out of control bad, but, like, they know their shit. And they're the ones who will, like, ultimately decide if this succeeded or failed as an Ace Combat game.
But those guys don't need a review.
Yeah, they would play it either way. But it's like I was baffled when they announced this in the first place because why? I'd rather have Ace Combat Joint Assault on PS2, but it's true. I really would have rather just played it on
with 2 analog sticks.
Yeah, that's a unique problem to this game, and some people don't mind it that much, but it bothers the shit out of me.
Well, it used to be.
It's fucking. My hands hurt so much after I played this game.
I thought just Birth by Sleep is a great improvement over fucking Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, I mean, like 3D action games are like.
The
PSP's
the combat is incredible. I'm just trying to talk about it to get it out now,
right?
Because I can.
Well, shouldn't you save this for new releases next week?
I don't know if I'll have time to review it. And besides, like my review is published now, so
I'm just saying
I don't have to hold the fucking Games Radar's embargo.
Birth by Sleep will be on the new release list next week.
Okay, Henry, I didn't know I was boring you.
But I did give you some.
You did. Oh my God.
So
more great Ace Combat.
So
music.
You'll hear again in the break, but the Rosgrease thing with the hidden puddle of mud song for no fucking reason. So this game again, the soundtrack has started off really good, and I was like, wow, this like orchestral score is really nice. And then you're flying over Egypt, and it's playing that someone in the Ace Combat Skies forum. He described it as like, yeah, they played that bullshit Middle Eastern snake charmer music, and it's always that that. I don't know what type of music that is called, but that's what someone referred. That's what they referred to it as, and they're like, and I was like, no, but it was fitting, and like it I don't know, it was like selling me on the shitty PSP rendition of Egypt, which looks like ass, and then this starts, and I'm like, Okay, that's a completely different type of music, but I guess this goes well with jets flying, and then the guy starts singing. Oh my god. Yeah.
I'll never
let it
again.
keep going. I want to hear how fucking insane it gets. And you're still playing, by the way, and this plane that flies really slowly.
Wow!
And it's like, the song itself, maybe not too bad.
I love Japanese emo, though.
Like, it's English.
Oh, man.
In the Zone, it's called. Not the Danger Zone, Chris.
No, so it's not dangerous. The zone is implied to be safe.
It's just in the zone.
Okay, it's slightly flammable, this zone.
Yeah. And then meanwhile, you're flying, like, really crappy-looking desert with this music playing. After it just got done with the, like, the music's all over the place. And then the other side. I beat the game, and this is the fucking ending song, which is again like on the other end of the spectrum. The music is fucking scattershot as hell.
It's like nothing has happened in Japan in 20 years.
Oh, it's like
just new games.
It's Symphony of the Night all over again.
Never far away, though he's always on the road. Yeah.
Just let it go. It's so
like
stupid.
He's got no home. I can feel him here.
The lower the sound,
like
entertain myself. Is that cool?
Right beside me. Yeah, he's always in my arms. Can't tell the way.
Oh, wait. Ignore me.
Our humble home impressed aside.
This woman thinks she's singing, but we're making fun of her. Blam!
His bird
But get ready for the second. The guy's gonna come in and pick this up.
You can't have to tell me he's the Nights guy, the guy from American Tail sound.
You can't do this without a duet. Totally, that's exactly what it is. It's the most formulaic bullshit song.
knows where he's been. Knows what he's seen. He's fighting for a greater cause.
Because he's in a plane.
This reminds me of like leaving the movie theater in like early '90s.
Yeah.
Except it's not a rap.
It's not a rap. Ladies and gentlemen, Pinocchio, Emperor of the Night. Henry and I walk away. Arm in arm. What? I didn't make that movie.
God.
You don't like Jimmy Stewart as Jiminy Cricket? Pinocchio, Emperor of the Night. You will never hear another fucking game podcast mention that movie, and that's why we deserve an award.
What is Pinocchio Emperor?
It's like a Japanese fucking production of like a direct Pinocchio sequel.
Really?
Yeah, with like a complete, like I think Orson Welles might be in it, like totally star-studded. Jimmy Stewart is Jimmy Cricket. Pinocchio! Oh, yeah.
How did Disney deal with
Emperor of the Night, which implies he's a villain, big bad villain that Pinocchio has to fucking fight.
Right.
Only available on VHS.
Disney doesn't own the story, so
Yeah.
No, I guess so.
public domain.
Hence, Good Times. Did we already expose that? That's so fun.
That's why
Good Times,
yeah.
which became GT Interactive, which is hilarious to me.
So there's Ace Combat. You want to sell it? Don't buy it.
Oh man, we get through
What
2
did
minutes
you
of that?
give it, anyway?
Jesus.
I gave it
the
a
levels
6.
were okay.
Like the game, like I said, the game underneath is like it's not a terrible game. If it was on PS2, I would have played it and actually enjoyed it.
What'd you give it?
A 6.
Oh,
Because I said it's a good game with a bunch of like shitty controls and a lot of derivative
sound effects. Yeah, right. Good.
Apparently, you're just married.
Derivative what?
Controls.
Maybe we should move on.
Why is that?
Well, I'm gonna have to change up this whole soundboard, Henry. I just want to give a sound effect to everything that Brett says before a comma.
UFC.
That was a TKO.
All right.
And then also this week, Matt Keast reviewed Dead Rising Case Zero.
Oh, I thought that was delayed.
It got delayed in Japan, but it is out today in
Really?
America.
It is out.
Yeah.
Swine flu?
It is out in America.
I don't know why. Maybe it was quarantine.
Which that is.
It sounds like a great deal. $5.
It's only $5. It's averaging a 79. Let me see what's going on.
Whatever. You like Dead Rising? $5.
One
Up gave it a 7.
One Up gave it a 1 billion.
Jeez, what?
An A, I guess.
An A from One Up.
IGN is a 6.5. GameSpot's an 8. They don't have our review on here.
Well, we gave it a 7.
What a bunch of dicks, those Metacritic.
That looks like a delicious stack of Blam cakes. Who's got the syrup?
My favorite one after that, after that, when he says, like, he's going to have to paging Dr. Blamenstein. What?
He's Jewish.
That doesn't... What the fuck joke is Blamenstein?
Well, I think, anyway... I do think that, like, when... Since it's $5, it may as well be free, because I don't really care about spending $5.
However, I couldn't hate Dead Rising more.
Oh,
So
I'm ready to give 2 a chance.
Fuck no! I played it a lot already, and I'm like, wow, even more than before.
Really?
Don't like it.
No. I might not buy that game then.
This is
just because Brett said that.
No. That's totally
the first
me.
one.
Like I know I'm. I
actually. First one had some good things, and it had a horrible save system, like the fucking worst.
What?
It's a bad. It was actually kind of a bad game.
Wait a minute, Henry. I'm gonna load. Tell me when to load up the other soundboard. Jesus.
I'm not. I'm sorry. I don't. No, that was funny. That was funny. I didn't. I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm giving you.
I don't want everyone to get put down on Dead Rising 2 because of my opinion, because I just really don't, like, personally can't stand the game. So the first one. So 2 already has an uphill battle, and what I played so far is not fixing any of those problems for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you like the first one, don't take my.
I want some good news this week.
Don't take my word for it.
I got some. What?
The reading window. Remember when they say, but don't take my word for it, read it yourself.
I see.
Ba-da-bop.
Almost got it.
Guys don't know.
It's been almost 20 seasons since I caught up with that show.
Yeah. All right.
Hank, I remember that. Don't take my word for it.
He just wasn't laughing.
Yeah.
He wanted to. He made sure you knew that.
I get it. You remember it. It just wasn't. It was pointless.
I got it, but no.
But fuck you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, are we on the news?
We on the news. I only because I wrote a story about it, and that's all I can remember. This fucking 360 controller with the workable D-pad, maybe
with a potentially workable D-pad.
Can't wait to buy a new
I didn't get to
controller.
state it because I remember playing Michael's PSP. Like when I first got here, you put something on the analog nub. It was like a scoop for your thumb of your PSP.
Okay.
What was that?
I don't know about scoops, but I did have these little replacement nubs that you like just pop off the disc.
Amazing.
Of the original PSPs, and then there was like a little rubber, like you could buy these at GameStop in 3-packs. It's like a little rubber replacement thumbstick. And I mean, it had no traction, so it kind of sucked when your hands got sweaty. But
it had a scoop, like a U shape.
No,
one of them had a U shape that you.
I know what you're talking about there. Those are things you
yeah.
attach to the analog sticks of a controller, and they give a greater precision for like FPSs.
Either way, that made all those things made all the difference in the world. When I played the PSP with your modifications, when I played whatever the fuck else with the U-shaped scoops, made all the difference in the world. Maybe the tactile, like just. Seriously, it never even occurred to me that the 360 D-pad isn't a D-pad; it's a fucking disc.
It's terrible.
It is terrible.
It's a disc that you move a certain direction, which you can't. And I'm sorry for saying you needed fingers like petrified baby dicks. I don't know why everybody's calling me out on that. I swear to God, I've written that in the same combination before on the site.
Well, I don't know. It wasn't. I really didn't like the GameCube D-pad. It was so small.
Yeah, it was very small.
Yeah, it was tiny.
It was very small, but like just defining the cross pattern more, I think, could go a long way.
Yeah,
it's interesting, but that fucking controller's $60. So
it's $60, but it's a charge and play kit. Charge and play kits are great.
It's funny that like this is the second Xbox in a row where they put out a greatly improved controller, like years into its existence.
It better be better than. I mean, I love.
Remember when we all bought the controller S for the regular Xbox?
I love the dude.
By the time I got my Xbox, I think it came with a controller.
Oh yeah,
mine did.
Mine came with a Grizzly.
I did not. That's
remember buying a ton of them as the Xbox was going down the tubes. It's like, wow, they're only $15 now.
Jesus Christ.
I'll buy a 6-pack at Costco.
God,
so I will admit,
that mentality of like something's cheap, I'll buy 6. It just reminds me of my friends saw these Ninja Turtles at a KB toy store when they were going out of business. Like they had Ninja Turtles, they were 3 for $10. Oh, so how many? So you got which 3 did you get? I bought 9.
Before the collections, I have the whole set of Waterworld figures now. What do you want from me? Each one comes with a silicone non-painted replica of something from the film.
One of my friends did that with Cyber 9.
Cyber 9?
What the fuck is Cyber 9?
Anyone remembers the Cyber 9
That's
toys?
too obscure for us.
And then the mask toys.
I remember Mask.
Not the cool Mask toys.
Wait, no,
the
Cyber
Mask?
9 were those they were sold in Best. It was like from some cartoon.
It was a
about,
cartoon about robots and
they were like a family of cyborgs or something.
I don't
like
even
one of them had a
remember.
robot
Jesus Christ.
arm. I don't know.
Someone will remember Cyber 9.
One of them looked kind of like Terry Bogard.
So yeah, a new D-pad for the 360.
Dude, I'm excited. I'm excited, and it's the last aside in the paragraph, but like I haven't been able to play any of the Mega Man games on that fucking D-pad. Period.
I had to review Mega Man 9 on that D-pad.
Fucking terrible.
It was garbage.
It's horrible. And I realized I've been taking a lot of my frustration out of the game for being too difficult, and then I loaded up, I forget which other side scroll. I'm like, this is terrible too! I can't play this at all!
Oh, it's still really hard.
And there's a lot of good old school games on Xbox, and I'd like to see the D-pad work again.
Yeah.
Anyway, what Henry, you had news?
I had news today too.
Go for it,
I
Hank.
wrote a news story. Well, so today
there's a Vanquish demo out.
Vanquish demo, good shit.
Demo came out today.
That's all.
But today Microsoft announced their next Xbox 360 arcade gaming promotion, which is called Game Feast, which is sort of like the Summer of Arcade, but for October.
I did find it bizarre that they never had a year-round thing for XBLA games.
Well, it wouldn't make it special when it became the.
I guess,
Summer
but
of
a lot of
Arcade.
cool shit. I don't know. Why the summer though? There's like.
Well, no, they did a spring promotion this year too.
Yeah.
Like I think they do one month out of every 4. It seems like
I'm enjoying. I'm getting my mind blown more by XBLA and PSN games than I am from like full retail disc games.
Yeah, no, I'm much more. Well, yeah. So I said in my article that I thought this Summer of Arcade was kind of lopsided. Like it was just you had 2 great games, and then like Castlevania, Brett was saying it looked like it was kind of shit, and then
what game?
Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, not very good.
Harmony of Dissonance.
No,
that's how much it didn't affect me.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, the XBLA one, it's okay.
And also the Lara Croft one only sounded okay, and
I really like the Lara Croft one.
Oh, yeah,
it's great.
No, it's got great reviews.
Yeah, all right.
So my favorites are Limbo and Monday Night Combat, which couldn't be more different from one another.
Yeah.
Also downloaded Hydro Thunder. I was surprised I had a lot of fun with that.
Really?
I haven't downloaded it yet, but I know I'll like it when I
know.
do.
I feel like I'll like it, and I'm afraid.
Absolutely will like it. I love Hydro Thunder.
But anyway, so Game Feast is
Hydro
starting September 29th and going till October 20th. Starts with Hydrophobia, which is a game that got announced.
You turned me on to. I hadn't really heard of it.
It had been announced 3 years ago. Like
really?
I went in the folder. Like we did a feature on it in 2007 about what a
seem
cool
to remember
thing it was.
That game being talked about like during the last console generation.
Yeah, it was long ago announced, but its whole thing is to be like a AAA release that's downloadable, and like it's like it looks really good. Like it looks like it could be a retail game, except that they say it's like 5 hours long, so it couldn't be. But
down with that, love it.
But yeah,
love the
it's
idea.
got like it almost looks like Metal Gear, but on a sinking ship with water everywhere, and you swim under water, and it has a
metaphor
female.
for Metal Gear.
It's and you play as a lady and all that. It looks really cool. I've been wanting to play that for months now. I had only heard of it when I read our Edge magazine had a really cool preview of it.
What's Captain Comic?
Well, second is Comic Jumper.
Comic Jumper.
Love that game.
Which stars Captain Smiley as the main character. And that also is made by Twisted Pixel. I love Twisted Pixel. They made The Maw and Explosion Man.
Two for two.
This is their next one, and it's like a side-scroller that goes through different times in comic book history. And so he is in like the 60s with Kirby-esque stuff, and then he goes to manga and black and white, and it looks so cool.
The manga stuff is weird. I don't know how much I can talk about it. I'm doing the review for OXM, but and have they finally announced a release date for that?
Yeah, it's the second week of it, so it's October 4th or 5th.
I was reviewing it and it was still TBA, which was kind of weird. But the manga stuff. If you approach this all super serious, you will be upset because it is basically like a really goofy extrapolation of like something somebody once heard about a stereotype about manga.
So I wrote it.
Yes,
I see.
Although I'm pretty sure Sean Baby wrote for it.
Really?
Because there's a Sean Riley credited in the credits as a writer, and that's his real name.
When if you read Sean Baby, you know he loves shitty old comic books.
Yeah, and if he is one of the writers, then his fingerprints are all over some of that stuff.
And then the next week is Pinball FX 2, and that's a pinball game. And then the last week is Super Meat Boy. And is Super Meat Boy, which also, like, I've been waiting
I don't
an
even
whole
understand
year
now.
for. Well, it's basically
Why do I care
It's
again?
not a coincidence that its initials are SMB, like Super Mario Brothers, and it wants to be an old school platformer, except trial and error is like intrinsic to it. But like you kill one of the little meat boys, and he just explodes in a pile of meat, and then like immediately you start up again with another guy, and you see like the pile of meat where you died, and it tells you like where not to jump next, and it just sounds so awesome. It's just like an old school platformer made with an indie sensibility, but that doesn't take itself too seriously and isn't pretentious, which is what I hate about a lot of indie games like Braid. And also
basically what you hate about Braid.
And it also has
what's wrong with the Japanese version of Blade?
It also has cameos by Tim from Braid and the Bit Trip character and alien hominids in it too. Like they have their own set stages as well.
Yeah.
It looks awesome, man.
Oh yeah, and fucking Castle Crashers came out this week on PSN finally.
Oh, that's right.
Good shit. Pick it up.
Whole year later.
2 years.
Whatever. It's a great game. If you have no access to it now, it's fantastic. Everybody you know will love playing that game with you in person and online.
That's what I was thinking. Like, I kept comparing the experience of playing Shank to Castle Crashers, and it's like, if you like Shank, go play Castle Crashers. There's a better, more clever, colorful, still like kind of violent, but infinitely more like imaginative game. I just really enjoyed Castle Crashers a hell of a lot more than Shank.
Well, and also, right before Game Feast starts on the 15th of September, Sonic Adventures comes out, which is like the first real Dreamcast dump on the XBLA, and it's
Don't
the
call it
beginning
a
of
dump,
the,
Henry.
Yeah,
I love. In true. I feel like this is wow. But it's taken me so long. I think this is truly representative of just Sega's handling of everything. Is that they are putting out Dreamcast games for the 11th anniversary of the Dreamcast.
It was probably like they didn't even think about it, and then on the 10th anniversary, somebody said to them, like,
"No, that's exactly."
I was going to say they're 5 years late, but yeah, there was a good time. Well.
It's like you could have fucking done 10 years later.
I mean, you could have bought a Blade on Xbox Live, a page on PlayStation Store.
It never hit them until like people like us said to them, like, why isn't?
Yeah, I'd buy this if I could.
For this,
it's like again, like all these people are so dumb. Like
pay two people to fucking emulate it, and I'd buy it again.
It's like you don't realize how many 32 and 64-bit games I will buy again in HD, and you do nothing to them but up-res them.
What's that? You didn't hear me? Incredible Hulk? Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Iron
Man 2. Got
seeing Alpha Protocol, maybe.
Alpha.
Yes. Please keep churning out garbage when all you got to do is fucking like pick a game that worked, like a Panzer Dragoon collection, and I'll pay $60.
I don't know. I've never heard that said in the same collection.
No, like 1, 2, and Saga. Let's just fucking do this. Like.
Yeah,
I'll take a little order.
$60 for a game that you guys made 20.
That's too perfect. They'd rather
15-year-old game. Like,
they'd rather Golden Axe it instead.
I just like to take a second to correct myself. Apparently, Twisted Pixel Sean Riley is not Sean Baby, so I apologize.
I see.
That.
Oh well.
You want to do it?
Which one?
The sound.
Oh, it's going
the backwards.
Well, would you settle for a Hanna-Barbera sound?
Yes.
I'm
so sorry. It's gone? Seriously?
No, I just have to load it up. I'm afraid because I literally got 40 Hanna-Barbera sound effects on here. Would you like to hear some of them because they're all here?
Every cartoon I hated watching.
So
anyway,
that's it. That's really all the news I had.
Okay, I didn't have any more news, but I stumbled upon a YouTube video called "The Worst Genesis Music."
Oh wow!
And it was absolutely wonderful, and I didn't even grab them all, and I'm sorry I forget the guy's name, but hopefully I'll play the rest of them at some point. But I didn't know there was a James Bond game on the Genesis
James Bond 007 The Duel?
The Duel.
Yes, I do
Not
know
to be
that.
confused with James Bond Jr. on Super Nintendo.
Ooh, look at you guys, all micro machines. Give me some make calls and rest.
Just because that's how my friends and I always refer to it as James Bond 007 The Duel.
007 Duel?
Like, just the only thing I can say.
Is
that
it the
fast.
one with
007 The Duel?
Is it the one with this music? This whole video is like just making fun of everything I've made fun of.
Genesis has the
music
most
for.
easily make funnable music outside of Chessmaster.
Just the little fart noise there. And the fucking stomp chorus in the background. And I've never
wondered what a shittier stomp out loud sounds like.
I've never heard. Okay, Golf Power, which I don't have right on me right now.
For NES.
Yeah,
Good music.
Great. Arnold Palmer's Tournament Golf on Genesis, not so much. Almost every one of these, I'm like, I reach out instinctively to like stop something from going so fast or so slow.
Genesis really does. It's like it has some excellent music. Streets of Rage, Sonic. Like I can point to 100 different good, 50 good Genesis soundtracks.
Yeah,
but it's home to the worst. Like the worst NES stuff can't even compare to the worst Genesis stuff.
That shit I just said about tempo. A Darwin 4001. Maybe we're going England here.
No, this one.
This is fantastic.
Let's get started.
You thought it was stuck. No. That couldn't have come in any sooner. How long? I want to see how long that was.
Yes, I've composed your title screen music.
Okay, we'll get back.
Wait, do you not have the Sonic Spinball, which is the worst?
I don't have it on me.
It's the worst. Can we close out with the segment?
Yeah, well, I was going to close out with Championship Pool. How about we'll bring it into the next segment with Sonic Spinball?
Sonic Spinball,
hurting your ears.
The option screen.
Hurting your ears with Sonic Spinball. This is a Championship Pool, and I forget what I was going to say about it, so let's just say we have new releases.
We did new releases.
Shut up. We have Game Deals community segment. Shut up, Henry Pax.
I've got the...
Speed it up. Fuck this. I'm not closing with this. We'll close with Spinball. What do you got, Elston?
Championship Pool. Championship
Going down to the billiard hall.
Also coming up next is the second annual talk.
Swindle money with some balls. God! Rain.
The second annual TalkRadar Fan Awards. I have the results from
What?
Ampetent ran a contest, so we've got
I don't want
those.
to see that. I don't want to see what I've lost.
Question of the week, game deals.
Phone calls.
Phone calls are ready, and it's already 9:30 here. So
No.
Sonic Spinball. Let's do this.
Sonic Spinball, worst music ever.
We'll be right back with more fun and adventure.
Hi, this is Ryan McCaffrey from the official Xbox magazine's KOXM Radio. You're listening to TalkRadar.
I didn't want to say what game it's from yet because that I think will make it funnier retroactively.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a game I know some people in the forums have played. I played it to death. This is pre me and Games Radar industry, but it's
a great industry to be in.
It is the Games Radar industry. It's the intro movie to a game. It's a PS2 game, and it's summer. This is the plot. The dialogue is already kind of silly. The reason it's funny is because out of nowhere, a song starts playing, a licensed song, which means they bought it and paid for it.
And are still paying for it.
And are still probably paying for it. And this is the kicker. This game came out in 2004. That song was popular at the end of 2001. It was literally a 3-year-old song.
Is it Dragula?
No.
Oh, all right.
You will know. You will know it the moment it starts.
Okay.
And you will not believe it. And the fact that the dialogue keeps playing.
Okay, I can't wait.
Right.
I can't wait. Let me hear.
All right, and then I will tell you what game it's from. And a word they're going to keep saying in this is Rosgrees. That's the name of the demons that they're going to be fighting. The demons of Rosgrees. Here we go.
Look at that wreckage. I'm amazed they're still making them like this.
They? Who's this they you're referring to?
Rosgrees, a demon from the world of fairy tales.
Captain, do you believe in the demon of Rosgrees?
The demon from the North
Yeah.
Sea. I've never seen a stupid fairy tale come true like this.
It appears you're up against Rosgrees itself out there.
When history...
Wait, what song is that?
Keep listening. Keep listening.
Wait, what song is that? What song is it? Is it a Puddle O' Mud?
Puddle O' Mud.
First, as a dark demon. As a demon, it uses its power to rain death upon the land. However, after a period of slumber, Rosgrees returns.
And cue the chorus. All right. That's Blurry by Puddle of Mud.
But why?
I have to,
that was POM?
That was Puddle of Mud as brought to life by Fred Durst because he knew a guy.
Fred D.
The D. I have to admit, that song, I love the sound of it. I love the intro and that part there. I think it's a very pretty song.
It's the opening to every sad moment in the real world.
Kind of, yeah. I think it's a very pretty song, and then it's kind of ruined by him screeching. What game do you think that is? Take a guess. 2004.
It's got to be Gran Turismo.
Reign of Fire.
It's some asinine JRPG.
So you say JRPG.
Yeah.
He says Ring of Fire based on the movie.
Reign of Fire.
Reign of Fire.
I say Sony Car Simulator. Gran Turismo. Stand by.
Ace Combat 5.
No!
Wow!
Oh
Seriously.
my god!
Ace Combat 5, and I am a huge Ace Combat fan, and
Yes, you are.
So when I'm watching that intro, and then all of a sudden here, what?
Really, I'm surprised you didn't say what when they start talking about the Rosgrees.
Well, I thought that was dumb too. No,
we got some Russian Rosgrees on her tail, Maverick.
That's the thing. Then it cuts to that song playing with nothing but stock footage from the game of jets fighting each other. While taking you take it all away, and it's jets everywhere, jets.
It could work. Hold on.
So it's that's what I wanted to share. Just
That's unfortunate.
Keep watching. There's more fun coming up.
Whoa! What?
I don't know. I think maybe.
Is
I know
it?
Snoop Dogg is coming to Rock Band soon. I'm not sure if that's this week.
I don't know what it is, so I'm going to fill this spot with a game music of the week yet to be named. Oh, I'm doing it tomorrow.
You're doing whatever it is Wednesday.
Oh, then I'll say what it is right now. What's tomorrow?
Wednesday.
Well, yeah, and what's the date?
September 1st.
It's Earth, Wind, and Fire, September, from DDR Universe.
What the hell?
Damn straight. Damn straight.
I heard that one. I know that from Elite Beat Agents. I just love it.
Oh, shit, yeah, that too.
Party, party,
Oh, good.
Body we closed out a podcast with it already. I want to use it again.
I did Double Dragon and Ninja Gaiden this week.
I'm totally cheating because I love Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's in a game.
The only good part about that Beatles movie, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
What did they cover?
I totally forgot.
Aerosmith covers. I forgot that too.
Steve Martin covers Maxwell's Silver Hammer.
Like Maxwell's Silver Hammer.
Go and go
down.
I wouldn't even blame you.
Head,
Question: What do you like less, that or the Mean Mr. Mustard cover?
I don't remember that one.
Sung by the Robots who are giving massages.
That was worse. I like that was the first movie Steve Martin was ever in.
Really?
Screen debut.
Oof, that's rough.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
think my least favorite song was when they were driving.
The one George Burns
the
does.
The evil manager was driving around, and they're like, and then they start singing, "I want you so bad."
I forget what song it is.
God, I hate that song.
I saw it on TV, and then I saw it in the theater to confirm that it's in there. But there's a loud sound that occurs. So it's so jarring, and twice as loud as any of the audio. And it happened in the theater. We were watching an old print. It's hard to
I love that they write themselves into a corner in that movie, and then they're just like,
"Get back!"
He killed himself. Yeah, what are we gonna do?
Back,
get back! They just get Percy Sledge to scream, "Get back!"
Yeah, I know. God damn, that stupid movie.
Video games.
Hold on. Game deals.
Advice, do as I say. Save a little money for a rainy day.
What do you? I don't have it, and that's where it used to be.
What do you bar?
There you go.
You didn't change the sound?
Okay, I'll change it back. I just like one time. Let's just have a bunch of Hanna-Barbera stock sound effects from the 1960s in here. That's all that I ask. It's not like it's annoying or anything.
Let's hear the bongo running away.
I don't know if I have that. I'm sure I do.
Vince Man watching Muddy Mud Skipper. Come on.
God, that's the worst.
Yes!
The booby thing.
All right.
Okay. Game deals. Oh, wait, I want to say this. Our sister, one of our sister magazines at the Future Umbrella Ad Gamer. Jesus Christ. What's the coupon they have for Metroid Other M? You bought it today.
$15 off.
$15 off.
Plus $15 off of Dragon Quest IX. I took advantage of that.
Plus $20 off Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
Yep.
Which has to bring it down to at least half price. I don't know what it is right now, but I'm definitely buying it with that coupon. Right. Red Dead Redemption is also $20 off both platforms.
Those are good coupons.
Bam, good coupons.
Blam.
Hey, did it? You know what? Yeah, fine.
You
You're
should
right,
say blam instead.
Blam! It is definitely worth the blam.
Nice bling bling.
I keep wanting to hear Super Horn after the blam.
Whack! Super
But
horn.
at least it got some bling bling. Or is it bling blam?
So wonderful.
Doubled up the voice.
Fuck, it's so stupid.
I can't wait to call this podcast Blam. I can't wait to title it that. Amazon Brutal Legend, $14.
What?
Both platforms. Sorry, Mr. Schaefer. He
that
was
makes me
nice enough to
sad.
appear in the cast this week. We should have a developer commentary with him and Tasha up.
I bought it for $20. Now I feel like a fool.
Where is this at? $14?
Amazon, $14, PS3 60. Well, if you can manage to get it out for Friday, Xbox Live has an Alien Invasion sale for gold members only. Alien Breed Episode 1, 400 points. Alien vs. Predator Swarm Map Pack, 400 Microsoft points. Galaga Legions, which is a great game. It's half off. 400 Microsoft points. Was that $5?
It's fine.
Xenoclash Ultimate Edition, super cool. 800 Microsoft points. Good deal.
Good. Yeah.
It's still like $20 on Steam or some shit. So, woo! And Other M is $42 on Newegg with free shipping, and they also have Split Second for $29.99 PS360.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, sorry, we got to hurry through this for my battery, guys. 50 minutes. How does that happen?
Really? 15?
50. It added some.
Oh, okay.
It added to my tally.
15. I was worried.
Last week's question of the week. God, this is awesome. Like, this is one of the rare ones where, like, I think we almost have a feature out of this. What's your it wasn't what oddball game do you hate, but what game in a series that you like do you consider the oddball, the weird one, the one that doesn't make sense in the scope of the rest of the series? And I jizzed lots at Halo Wars. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. You don't have to hate it, and a lot of people they didn't say they hated it. It's definitely the odd one out. Black Element 17 said Metal Gear Solid 2, as did new user Gary the Guido Hunter. Reaver Beaver said Prince of Persia Warrior Within, as did Yoshi Ate My Baby. Ampotent Street Fighter EX. Forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Total fucking oddball.
That is
How did I forget that?
I guess I think you have no fondness for it.
Well, I have a little bit of fondness. I like
other than Skullmate.
I like Doctor and Dark. I think I'm the only one.
Yeah, it didn't ring a bell
I
for me.
suggested he should come back for Super Street Fighter 4. Anyway.
I am. Well, this one might resonate with you too, Mikkel. Phazon 117 says Jack Combat Racing, which was at that period where Sony had just built its we have a platforming stable now. Oh shit, platforming's dead. Let's put them all in kart racers.
Yeah.
I still think that is just Naughty Dog's pattern of development.
Yeah?
Yeah, that they do 3 games in a series, and then they do a kart racer. They did it with Crash, they did it with Jack, and they'll probably do it with Uncharted.
Mine kart race.
Yeah.
Cannot wait to hear Nathan. You got a turtle shell.
First place.
Uncharted.
You got the charisma power up. Wink. The Freaky Surgeon said Sonic Chronicles The Dark Brotherhood, which I didn't think about this one because Chronicles obviously means they wanted to be part of a larger series that I guess they're not continuing with, even though I thought this sold well and was well received.
I completely liked that game.
Yeah,
that's good.
It's the only Sonic game I've beat in the last probably 10 years.
The Bowser's Inside Story kicks its ass.
Oh well, yeah, it's a better game.
Yeah. But yeah, I liked it
for a Sonic game to be like a legitimate, like a fun, let's just say great RPG.
I thoroughly.
I don't know how Sega afforded BioWare either.
It's
well, also that's
one of those baffling games. How did this happen?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's another thing too. Like I think maybe BioWare just had some secret Sonic fanboys, and it was almost like they did it pro bono because they're like, please,
they probably just took a paycheck like anybody else, and they're just probably like, that seems we don't do anything for DS ever.
And now they never will make that another one because they're owned by EA, and they're not going to make Sega.
They can still do that.
EA is not going to let them make a game for Sega.
You don't think so?
There's like some sort of weird, long-standing rivalry between EA and Sega, isn't there?
Really?
Is there?
Well,
because I remember EA refused to develop anything for Dreamcast.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're a big reason why the Dreamcast died was because of no Madden. But
yeah,
oh yeah, one of us should have gotten this one. Dark Tone said, "Typing of the Dead." Just fucking bizarre. How did that happen?
My mom was so good at that. Her 30 years as a paralegal.
Oh, wow.
With that game.
Yeah.
Man Puddin said The Elder Scrolls Adventures Redguard.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Way back. Nate, some of these
like
games.
a cell phone game, isn't it?
That's too obscure for me.
Yeah, some of these games I've never heard of. I don't know. Nathan Explosion, Mortal Kombat Mythologies. There's probably a couple of odd ducks in the Mortal Kombat series. That would be one
Special
of them.
Forces.
Sub-Zero.
That's Mythologies.
Yeah, that's Mythologies.
And
that was also a planned...
Shaolin Monks was fantastic.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was That was another planned series that didn't work out. Sub-Zero was just the first of the Mortal Kombat Chronicles.
We're going to fill in the backstory. No, we're not.
Like this is the
we're
one
going to make you turn around with a button press.
I wanted to read the full response here because I just thought this was nice. Skynet is coming, said Siphon Filters, Logan Shadow. Logan Shadow. Ever since my dad got me into video games when I was 6, I've been a Siphon Filter fan. Playing through the first 3 games with my dad are some of my fondest memories. Although Logan Shadow is better than pretty much every other game in the series. Yeah, I know, most of them are shit, but I love them. It has none of the original Siphon Filter series trademarks. The virus itself was not present in the game. It features none of the gore or overuse of the word damn. None of the original voice actors remain. All of the side characters are gone. The signature way your hips swivel while aiming, the taser that lights people on fire, and the overall feel and atmosphere of the games has totally been removed. The series that used to give me fond memories of playing games with my dad no longer exists. I shall never again see his eyes light up as he explains to me how to overcome a certain boss fight or sneak by undead enemies in sad emoticon. And that's exactly what I was talking about. He acknowledges it's a better game. It's just not why he loves the series. Strange.
Yeah.
And Creative Assassin, you know we love you. You know we love you. He just posted tons of cartridge pictures.
Oh, yeah.
And box pictures. Castlevania Judgment, Donkey Kong 3. Very weird for the Donkey Kong series.
Oh, yeah.
Blaster Master Blastin' Again. I have to load that. I have to get that game and just capture everything from it.
I have it.
It's astonishing.
It's terrible.
And thank you, Creative Assassin, Henry. Well, I'm here to pick a fight with you. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Boom! It's an odd duck.
I agree that it's an odd duck, but I'd still say
it's only an odd duck because they added that.
It's not a
it
Mario
shouldn't have that moniker
title in the U.S.
Yeah.
It's like that's not what it was called.
No.
Well, also,
but Henry refers to it as a Mario game.
It is a Mario game. Like,
really?
It has Mario enemies in it. You're going around the Mushroom Kingdom. Mario is present throughout. Like,
but under that criteria, I still like Mario Sluggers more.
Oh my god!
I do. I do.
How is this possible?
I don't actually, but I'm just saying.
You actually really like Yoshi.
I love Yoshi's Island. It's just a weird. It's a weird. No, because you were arguing that it's the best Super Nintendo game.
Maybe that was the wrong stance to take.
This is a long time ago.
Maybe it was
40 minutes.
I think Chrono Trigger maybe should have been like number one.
Oh, shame on a Chrono Trigger. 510 Brother Panda Star Fox Command. Yes, definitely fucking weird. The strategy element.
That almost made it on the list. Star Fox Command. You know that's made by Q Games, who make the Pixel Junk games.
Really?
Yeah,
I had no idea.
I actually really liked. I enjoyed the Star Fox Command.
I did. It just like I got to a point where like the flying and the Star Fox stuff was fun, and then like the strategy became a problem. I couldn't do what I wanted in a StarCraft game without planning out every step through the fog of war, which is fucking weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
I want to battleships.
It's definitely a weird mix of things for sure.
Warcraft. This is deep. Breath of Fire, Breath of Fire 5, Dragon Quarter. They changed all the mechanics and gave it a survival horror strategy theme.
Yeah, it's like, and if you die, you go back to the beginning of the game or something like that.
It's weird.
Weird, and I just want to say good goddamn point to Rush and Red. I'm not even sure if we mentioned this on the air. Call of Duty 4. Very odd, strange departure. Just happened to spawn a new series and be more popular than the game itself. It was based on. Games Radar's junior wildlife editor said C&C Command & Conquer Renegade, as did new user Zanzi, which I hadn't heard of, but I thought Tiberium was the first Command & Conquer FPS. But it turns out it's Renegade, and it's really ugly and awkward looking. David the Bowie, just wanted to say hi, welcome him back. Please make us something new and weird. And I wanted to compliment his avatar because it's David Bowie from Venture Brothers.
The new season, I believe, begins in September.
Shit, yeah.
Well, you haven't watched the other half.
I have not watched season 4
yet. You're going to wait till the next
really?
DVD. You know, it has an hour-long season finale this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Dude, the last 2 episodes of every season have been, like, fucking heart-wrenching.
Yeah, I know.
Can't wait. New users, abducting people in my Vantista bladder cat. I like this. Take the S, turn it into a TH, and you have gay. Superman, new user. I'm sorry. Name slut. Metal Gear Acid. He said that Metal Gear Acid, weird game series.
Definitely.
Yeah, and
yeah.
So did Kyokin Kid. Chris is the boss. I really like this guy. I think he's got a future here. Buttercup for president. I may have said you already. Dr. Monkey Spaz. He said Zelda 2. Did you say that, Brod?
I may have.
Henry said that. Maybe.
What?
Raiders.
No, I mean, that's such an obvious answer, though.
Raider Shogun 8, new user, JC Denton 825, and Rainbow Bright, I hope you're a girl. We have a new question.
If I had been on that podcast, I would have said Battalion Wars, which is the console spin-off of Advance Wars, which I love, and Battalion Wars isn't bad, but I never enjoyed it.
I think I reviewed Battalion Wars. I don't even remember. But I remember thinking it was totally okay. It just got really kind of not great.
And it had a Wii sequel, too.
Wii is what they called it.
I have an explosion sound effect. Can I play it?
Yes.
Thank you.
It's like I'm really there.
Yeah, right there on the Hanna-Barbera Sound Studio.
We have another Odd Duck game coming up in Front Mission Evolved, which comes out sometime in September.
Odd Duck?
Yeah.
How so?
All the other Front Mission games are turn-based strategy, and
that's
this
right.
one is a third-person shooter.
Straight-up action.
Yeah, it's a mech shooter. So it's not Gears of War, but you know.
So this week's question.
New question of the week. We wanted to ask, what was the impetus of this?
Well, we wanted to do something like...
Go deeper.
It's PAX. PAX is this weekend, but...
We just saw Hanna-Barbera.
Assume most of the people listening aren't able to go to PAX because they can only hold so many people and all over...
It's fucking
listeners
Seattle.
all over the world and the country.
I tried to fly back to Florida recently.
Yeah.
Not a wealthy man.
No.
$900
on
a month's notice in like the down season.
Yeah.
How do people get to fucking Seattle?
Yeah, I tried to fly it home for Thanksgiving last year with a month notice, and it was $1,000. And I'm like, I know
Ridiculous.
Thanksgiving is expensive, but that's just stupid.
Fuck you guys.
Like, you're crippling the fucking travel industry when you do this shit. But it was a mix of Sunday was on a Monoguchi concert, which I had a beyond good time. Just
so good.
Like, out of my mind happy. And my ears rang for over a day.
The booze was only part of the reason.
Yeah. It wasn't just the drinking. It was like because Friday night tonight. Hopefully, we're all able to get into the concerts at PAX, and Anamanaguchi's playing again, and Metroid Metal is playing, and several other cool bands are playing. But it's the happiest concert you can kind of go to, and that's kind of this week's question. Is just like, what's the best concert you've been to, or maybe what's the happiest like you've been at a concert where like the music really hits you and you really feel it, and you're like, I'm so fucking glad I'm here.
The audience was so into it.
The audience was
whole,
super into it.
We all fed off each other, and it made Anamanaguchi feel like more into it.
Oh
too.
yeah, and you could tell they were like legitimately shocked and happy that everyone in the room was like that into it.
And for San Francisco, the house is packed, and like Burning Man is happening right now.
Yeah.
And they're normally, seriously, it's like hard to fill venues when Burning Man is happening in San Francisco because of all these hippie fucking liberal douchebags,
right?
Of which I fully align with. But yeah, the house is packed.
It was
there's people in the rafters, people down front going nuts.
Yep.
I have a YouTube video I wanted to post of Almost Winter. Of course, it came out like last year's video.
Yeah,
I got dizzy doing that.
It's unwatchable. It's unwatchable, but because it's just noise, because it's so loud. But yeah, my ears were ringing for over a day. Like it was.
So you can't choose that one if you tell another story.
If I tell another story,
what was their encore? Do you remember?
They came out and
they covered the Weezer song.
They played
They
played Mermaid, I think, as the
No, Mermaid was their original closer.
Song.
And then
their closing song on the encore was Buddy Holly.
Yeah, but I forget the song before Buddy Holly.
It doesn't matter. I was jumping in my arms.
Oh, I was yelling so loud along to Buddy Holly, just screaming.
God, that was like the pinnacle of the fucking. It gives me goosebumps.
Speaking of which, the last we asked a music specifically related question for Question of the Week. We ended up getting Rivers Cuomo sort of on the basis of your answers.
Yeah, it's true.
To come on our podcast.
Yeah. So if you answer some cool bands, there's a chance.
Who knows?
Maybe I'll awkwardly interview them.
There's a chance they'll come on and have no idea why.
Yeah.
And think we're Sports Illustrated.
I thought I was supposed to interview someone from Alkaline Trio, and they're great live. They're not my story. But he likes games, somebody from there, and wanted to come on and talk to us.
I would say, for me, it's... I don't know, I've seen a lot of concerts, but oddly enough, PAX 2007 was the one that I... Like, it was Freeze Pop, Any Eskimos, Mini Bosses, and One-Ups, like, just... Kind of like what you feel at Anamanaguchi show, but just... none of them are as happy as Anamanaguchi's music.
No.
But, just when you're in a room where like there's I don't know how many people fit inside that giant room where the PAX concerts are, but every single one of them knows every song that's being played. And when a guy's just doing a bass line to Super Metroid and everyone's fucking screaming, like that's when you know you're in you are supposed to be there. And it's like I just want to give everyone in this room a giant fucking hug. Like for this exact moment in time, we are all friends, and it's the equivalent of getting as high as you fucking can. Like the shittiest dude. I love. No, I know, man. I feel it without actually ingesting anything. It's fucking, it's perfect. And then I guess the second one is this local band from my hometown called States. Not the States, just States. And they played an hour-long set every time, and it was just a wall of. It was like Anamanaguchi, only with no computer aspects, just like just guitar, drummer, and just going fucking nuts for an hour. And I would just get up there and just jump the fuck around with shitty beers, and like that was the only other time I was just like, I can't believe I know where the song's going, I know where it's going, oh my god, and I went there, and then just jumping around. But all the other like acts I saw, like 9 Inch Nails and Alien Ant Farm and Our Lady Peace, and just it's just fucking tens and tens of concerts I went to. None of them hit me like PAX 07 and that local band, the local bands I'd see in a shitty dive bar.
For me, unfortunately, like when I lived in Jacksonville, like really any bands would come there, like except like there's a bunch of
God, I was jealous of people who lived in Jacksonville.
Nah, they get a bunch of dirty punk bands or whatever, but I wasn't
awesome.
But or just hardcore band after hardcore band, but like I didn't really care for them. To be honest, I haven't gone to that many concerts in my life, but I will. I think my other than I would say the Anamanaguchi one because it's so fresh in my memory, but another one it'd be. Well, I did finally get to see They Might Be Giants live after like spending my entire like junior high and high school career like listening to their albums all the time, and then I finally got to see them live.
Where'd you see them?
What?
Where'd you see them? Jacksonville?
Yeah, in Jacksonville. Yeah. I think we've talked about this before, where they said they had just come from a show like in Tallahassee, so I saw the show right after you saw the show, like the day before.
Or John Flansburgh came out after one of those shows and like, I sucked. I'm sorry. I'm going to sign anything you want for the next hour. Nobody noticed. Everybody seemed fine.
Well, I wouldn't.
He's so mad at himself.
my friends didn't want to stay during the encore, and so I left.
They always do 2 encores, and it was one of my favorite introductions, which I've wanted to like call somebody over there and steal. Like they did a countdown, 2 seconds until They Might Be Giants. 1, you're the only one waiting. 0 is how much time is left. I hate to be the -1, but you'd be -2. Like it just kept going into a negative countdown. I've never seen that before or since. It was They Might Be Giants was my first show ever. My first real big show. And I just saw them again 2 weeks ago and got really sunburned. It was fantastic.
I wish I had heard of that.
It was a free show in Stern Grove. I was
I was in L.A. that week.
You were.
That's why I didn't see
it was with Paul Ryan, and I got there, and it's a free show in the park, and then a nightmare came over me. Kids everywhere.
Oh, no.
I forgot that They Might Be Giants are like one of the highest-selling children's artists.
It's funny to me, all my friends, like when I was in high school, and I came after I went to that show, I came back with my favorite They Might Be Giants shirt, which is, you may know it, it's one of a giant like grasshopper attacking a city, and it has the dial-a-song number on the back.
Yeah.
I love that shirt. But anyway, I was wearing it the next day at high school, and then like cool girls were saying to me like, wow, They Might Be Giants, they're still a thing, because they remembered them from fucking Tiny Toons.
Tiny Toons.
Which honestly is where I first heard of them too.
I was going to say, I only knew them because of Particle Man.
Flood was my first album, and all that shit was off Flood.
And Why is the world in love?
What's your favorite They Might Be Giants album?
I don't know. It's a cheat to say the double album they put out that had the first and second CD on it. But
yes, it is.
All right, fine. Then it probably would be Flood.
Flood?
Yeah.
John Henry. Somebody out there's going nuts. John Henry's fucking awesome.
I'm going to second John Henry.
John Henry. Michael, you can get involved. You know this?
Yes.
John Henry's fantastic.
Apollo 18.
Because I saw the first time I saw They Might Be Giants, they were there with like a full band. They had like every instrument ever, and then John Henry is sort of like a live album. Not a live album. It's just that like it's just a little raw and less produced.
That's like, isn't that the first one where they switched over to like we're actually playing with the band instead?
Yeah, the Band of Dans.
Yeah.
Like there's
actually,
2 Johns. They Might Be Giants, and they're in like 3 or 4 more people, all named Dan. Band of Dans.
Apollo 18, is that the one?
Fantastic.
No, I like that one more than John Henry. John Henry is actually, I think, I cut off when I listened to They Might Be Giants at Factory Showroom, but I like Factory Showroom more than...
Factory Showroom's on with SEXXY, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do recommend The
That's
Spine.
about where I stopped.
The Spine came out, and we closed Podcast 30 with a song from The Spine. I don't know if it's their most recent non-kids album.
See, I don't...
It's really good. It's really good.
See,
But
I
I was going to say, and I just want to make it super fast, Less Than Jake. I saw Less Than Jake sort of blew my mind. Like 7 guys. I saw them in a rec room. Out at the Miccosukee Land Co-op, which is about 45 minutes from a main road in Tallahassee at a community convention center, and they blew my fucking mind. Less Than Jake. I think everybody knows who they are now.
Yeah.
It's a great show to see.
Carol and I went to see Arcade Fire, and that was only really... It was like a couple years ago, but it was after Neon Bible came out. It was only cool because of like...
That's Battery.
How many people are on the stage and how many instruments they're playing, and There Might Be Giants. Like I only knew because of Tiny Toons, and then I didn't hear a fucking else thing from them until
Dr.
like
Worm?
freshman year of junior year of high school. One of my friends just gives me "Birdhouse in Your Soul" MP3, and
Great song about a nightlight.
Loved it immediately, and that's the only They Might Be Giants song I've ever heard in my life, except for Particle Man.
See, listen to the whole album, only because they're right next to one another. That's like right after Istanbul's right after that song.
Yeah, I've heard the Tiny Toon songs, and then Birdhouse.
You get to race his friend. Boom, you're in Istanbul. Yeah. Oh man, that's a really good album. Women and Men. Henry, someday we should sing all this.
Across the
what's the line? I guess that's
Michael.
I haven't been to enough shows to say I've ever been to a bad one, but I have been to some great ones. I went to a couple of Electric Six shows. One of them introduced me to We Are the Fury, which was playing opening. If you haven't heard of them, I recommend you look them up. They're fucking fantastic. Let's see. I went to a couple of Me First and the Gimme Gimme show. One of them was at the Parkside, which is like this really intimate little venue. So I was like, they're like 10 feet away from me.
I saw
really
Lizzie's
cool.
band there.
Oh yeah. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
I think Nose Fat Mike.
There was a band in Washington State where I went to college called Chikung that was like this weird, like hippie industrial band that used like saws against oil barrels as like an instrument. That was
like it?
like industrial
That's
saws.
literally industrial music.
Power saws, yeah. yes, it was. But probably the best show I've been to was Lollapalooza, I want to say 96 or 97. I think 96 with the Ramones and Rancid playing on stage. It's also the one with Metallica, and that's about the time that I wanted to haul ass out of there because a bunch of sweaty, shirtless jocks started pouring into the mosh pit and just crushing the life out of me.
The year of Warped Tour I missed because I was in Costa fucking Rica. Had Rancid and Bad Religion, like they were co-headlining the tour, and
Florida doesn't get Lollapalooza.
I've never seen Rancid.
Just getting to see Ramones live before they broke up and
before everybody
dying.
died.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
That was one of the high points.
I did see Weezer right when the Green Album came out, so that was a pretty good
time
I love
to
the
see
Green
it.
Album.
Pretty good.
But I hear
show.
they don't play any Pinkerton songs anymore because, like, he sees Pinkerton as a sad time in his life. He doesn't want to read.
He sucks. Who cares?
Here's the thing: like, you can listen to the Blue Album, and like, I feel like that's more of what he would think. But then he found out I can write songs about bullshit and get
He's
rich.
a businessman.
He created emo with that.
Bullshit. Smashing Pumpkins created fucking.
All right, stop it. We're not going here. This is not our field.
I know. Like I fucking know.
I should probably wait. Hold on.
I would like to run through the TalkRadar.
Oh fuck me! Yes, do it.
Real quick. Ampeton, good old Ampeton on Twitter and in our forums conducted a bunch of polls, and here are the winners. Second annual TalkRadar Fan Awards. You could have found these in GamesRadar.com/forums. If you're listening and not there,
along with action figures, fucking.
If you're listening and not there, I totally understand.
Action figures, fucking. Remember, GamesRadar.com, your only place to go. Action figures, fucking. That's a little bit what it sounds like. Ant-Man, I can hear him going right there.
Somebody, I just saw the email pop up. I didn't see who it was, but somebody said they work a job with mostly middle-aged women, and the story of my Picard being undressed and being forced to have sex with Data really made him laugh, and I'm glad someone else could enjoy that because it really bothers
You did not.
It really, really bothered me.
You did not. Even when I showed you pictures of really funny stuff, you were like, I don't know what. I can't encourage this.
It's just so wrong. All right, second annual TalkRadar Fan Awards. Most valuable host. Well, who do you think won that?
Henry.
Yeah.
Chris Fucktista.
Damn straight.
With 67% of the vote.
I get my favorite Hanna-Barbera sound effect.
Followed by.
Taking the air out of every podcast.
Followed by Brett Elston and Tyler Wilde.
Yeah.
And then Henry Gilbert was fourth.
Oh, all
Michael
right.
Raparez.
I knew this was going to hurt my feelings.
Actually, Henry and Michael are tied.
Okay.
Really?
And then Charlie.
Fuck Charlie.
Best season of episodes. They've divided this into
season.
seasons, you see. Strangely, the best season is episode 76 to 100.
Really?
The categories were 101 plus, which is where we are now, which is last.
Yeah. Thanks. Jesus.
Thanks for that vote of confidence. Even though I thought, like, what,
Fuck faces.
114.
Everybody said, like, wow, everyone's been the last three. Everybody said, like, it's the best one yet. I don't know why.
Kind of a roll there. Well, strangely, they are all ranked in the order of oldness. 76 to 100 is the highest, then 26 to 50. Never mind, fuck this. Favorite female guest, Lizzie Cuevas.
Woo!
45%.
Oh, who thought that?
Followed by Veronica Belmont.
Wow.
Followed by Diana Raparez.
Woo!
Wow, one
Her
appearance.
actual last name.
Yeah, not correct. Carolyn Goodmanson, even though technically never really been on.
She's been on.
No, she talked
said
a little
once.
bit
She
on
says
100.
On 100, and then Cheryl.
She hates my podcast. Cheryl. I love Cheryl. Put her over all those fucking bitches.
Favorite male guest, Dan Emmerich.
Oh, Dan Emmerich taking it again.
Of course.
Hi.
Followed by Seth Killian.
Killian.
All right.
Followed by Tyler Nagata. I didn't realize that they were lumping in other future people.
Yeah,
and
he's
then,
not a guest.
Scott Butterworth after him, and then Mike Grimm. What the fuck? Is that a Genesis?
I don't know. I only have several more minutes.
Most likely to get drunk is Tyler Wilde with 70% of the vote. And then Chris, and then Michael for some reason.
Really? You've been pretty hammered lately, Michael. You've been out of control.
I almost never drink that
He's
much.
got
I know.
He's
exactly. I drink like 2 beers in an average cast.
Jesus. I'm gonna burn these.
No, fuck you.
I won't. Fuck me.
Oh, ice burn.
Not with that.
Don't come at me like that. I'm
Best
prepared.
anecdotes: Chris Antista, Brett Elston, Michael Raparez. Funniest host: Chris Antista, Brett Elston, Michael Raparez. And then Charlie has better anecdotes than Tyler Wilde.
Really?
Wow.
Charlie's literally never shared anything about you, about himself on the show.
Tyler,
like, to
Charlie
anybody.
has admitted he has a cow as an uncle,
Yeah.
and that he wants to bang.
You know nothing about. I know very little about Charlie.
And that he wants to bang Jane Jensen. That's the only thing I know. Biggest meme is Wiki Parez.
Woo!
Chris Antista smells like pizza.
God damn it!
Oh my God! Today,
And
Chris
then-
came in.
God damn
And
it!
then, hang on.
Hold on, this is a good anecdote. It's the
Oh,
only
yeah,
time.
And
I
then
wanna-
number 3 is Brett Elston. What the fuck? It's not a meme.
I want to say this real quick. Today, Chris came back from getting beers, and I was just sitting at my desk, and I smell pizza, and I look over, and it's Chris.
Shoving a slice of pizza.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
running around
a
the
fresh
office
slice
eating
of
pizza because
pizza.
I forgot to eat before the podcast because the machine
But it
was
was seriously was. I smelled pizza. I looked Chris. Like that's what it was.
Most likely to act like a serious games journalist, Michael Raparez.
Yeah.
Oh,
Followed by Charlie Barrett.
7% battery. Oh, I can't do phone calls with that battery.
And then Brett.
And Brett.
Most
No,
likely to cry about something game related,
I
Brett
don't have
Elston.
a power cord.
I don't have one.
All right, keep going.
The one I had was taken, so I don't know where it is. Most likely to cry about something game related is Brett Elston, followed by Henry and
Yeah.
then Charlie.
I should hope I'm second with my Hanks corners.
Most capable of running an entire podcast. Why this is an entry, I don't
What does that
understand.
mean? Like,
Chris
host?
Antista,
Yeah, I
big
know.
surprise, followed by me.
How's that different from host?
Which makes sense. And then
Yep.
Michael, you somehow came in with 7%
I
of the
have,
vote.
I have never run a podcast.
And then somehow Tyler, or no, wait. Henry, you're up there with 5%. Somehow you're above Tyler,
Wow.
who actually knows how to
Who
run the
who could
equipment.
run one? Yeah.
Best
Yeah.
features writing is Michael Raparez.
Oh, yay.
Followed by me, and then Tyler Wilde, Charlie, Chris, and then Henry. It's only because you don't get to write as many.
Yeah.
At least I'm number one for something, and that's good.
Most hardcore gamer, Brett Elston. Followed by Michael, and then Henry, and then Charlie. And Chris and Tyler did not even place.
Wow.
So I beat Chris in something.
Well, best sound effect, and Chris is left to go get a charger. So
maybe come back to this one.
I'll come back to that one.
Yeah.
Remind me. Best
Put a pin in that.
Put a pin. Chris, the next category is best sound effect. But you don't have any of these sound effects loaded, so what? Yeah,
what's the next?
I'll come back to it, but I'll give you the list. Best special episode or the E3 podcast, followed by Christmas, April Fools, and Comic-Con. Best special segment was Talk Seder.
Nice.
Followed by Week of Hate, and then Taste Tests. You haven't done it forever. Biggest loss when absent, Chris Antista was 61%.
Never been absent.
You've been absent several ones that I had to fucking run. And everyone hates them
69
because where's
comes-
Chris Booze?
We've done that in almost a year.
How dare Chris take vacation? I'm going to
Not
punish
now.
the podcast.
I hate that Brett even tried to run one. I'll take nothing instead.
Where are our fans? Gomer Pyle? Jesus Christ.
Maybe they are. Biggest loss when absent, Chris Antista, Brett Elston, Michael Raparez, Charlie, Henry, Tyler. All right, there's the best sound effects if you want to try to load them up.
All right.
Best character, King of Norway. We have. Could we have one word from each of these characters? One sentence from each of these characters by chance. The King of
Yes.
Norway.
Yes, is a sentence.
Shy Fonzie.
Hey. He's
Jesus
not listening.
Christ, Michael.
He's
Sorry.
For fuck's sake.
Looking at Homer Simpson's doppelganger.
For
obvious.
fuck's sake. Shy Fonzie is the second best character. I need a sentence from Shy Fonzie.
Attaboy.
I can't do it.
The Brett
I'm under pressure.
Brett bot, which will have to load, so hey, shut up, this is Brett.
No, I haven't.
All right, we'll come back to that. Bonsoir.
Everyone swap. Yeah, number 3, baby. I'm the Snapple of this category.
Duke Lombardi.
What are you laughing at, Henry Giblet? This is funny.
Your name sounds like Giblet.
Yeah, your name's wrong now. It's like a food.
Alf Pacino.
Hey, that's very little problem.
And then the R-Ape.
All right. Yeah,
has no-
Tim, I definitely have.
That's the R Gorilla.
That's the last thing you hear before rape.
Boy. Ooh, boy.
All right, say
then
goodbye to the
12
Hanna-Barbera sound effects.
12 is the number 1. I guess they're just voting on what the best podcast was of all time.
Which episode?
Yeah, which I'm not real like. It's
I don't remember
really
which
hard.
is which.
It's divided really weird. Like the first one, I guess, out of the seasons is TalkRadar 20. They said was the best out of the first 20, but then out of the next several, 49 was the best, and then the last one, that page that apparently didn't print. We all know what the best ones are. We don't need your help.
Yeah.
I only say that because the rest of them are so awful that the ones that are really good stick out. I don't remember why, but I think I remember liking 114 a lot. I don't remember what happened, but the reaction seemed very strong.
Wait, it wasn't. Well, what? This is 117.
This is 117.
Okay. Forgot.
Chris is still loading the sound effects, but those are the TalkRadar Fan Awards, and thank you, Everton, and thank you everyone who voted. I know I talked some smack of the listeners, but it was all in jest and in good sport. It is,
that's nice.
If you all we have are you listening and you bothering to care. So the mere fact that this poll existed and people bothered to vote in it means more than anything my bosses will say to me this week. Unless they ask me.
Which is nothing because they're on vacation.
They're on vacation. Well, no. The ones above them are here.
That's true.
Yep.
So I'm supposed to be covering, which was the fifth category technically. So we had the top 5
the best
sound effect awards
were voted.
Number 1, what do you think it was?
Shouldn't we do this the other way? Like,
you want to go? You want to go upwards?
Yeah.
Sure. Because I'm not really sure how the bottom one made it on here at all because I haven't played it in like forever. Legend of Zelda Found Item.
Wow, what?
It's been a long time.
Man.
It's been a long time.
Without a dope beat.
This one, I guess, it speaks to its own popularity. How long it's been a long time. Also tied with this one with 2 votes. Dolphin.
That's why I was giving the percentages.
Dolphin. I see. No. Top 7.
Number 7. Number 1.
There you go. Top 7s. Keep going up. We got wouldn't you know it? Lil Brett.
Yeah,
there he goes.
Yeah, amusing.
Scrambling across the floor. Number 3. Can't believe it.
Charlie, where you going?
Charlie's been on like 2 podcasts in 2010. Like, how many times have you heard that? And number 2 is one of the first sound effects I got specifically for the podcast after it was already going. All these other sound effects were just being collected, seeing if they worked. Joker's Yap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember when that happened.
Yeah. It almost seems quaint now. Remember when Dark Knight came out?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
July
the number 1 sound effect by an overwhelming 41%. Yeah. For instance, 16%. Is Michael Rapara's correction noise. It is the current affair noise. And we're done.
Hooray.
And we're done. What does that mean? Where did the enthusiasm go? I didn't take it out.
No, I'm happy.
I did nothing with it.
I'm good.
It had nothing to do with me.
I guess I would.
I love those kids.
Are we doing phone calls?
I have an idea of something that would cheer you all up.
What's that? How did you get him to say phone calls already?
Randy Savage?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
No.
I think he's just a listener to the show.
Okay, good.
He probably just went in front of a crowd of people, tore his shirt off, and yelled about phone calls. Phone calls. We're going to do a revolving wheel. One person gets to respond to a phone call and nobody else. And then we move on.
Okay.
And then we move on. We got to make this quick. There are a lot of phone calls in here. I'm sounding too radio voice now, making myself uncomfortable.
Hey, TalkRadar. This is WB Ramsey. I'm Colin. Thank you guys. I didn't have internet for about a week, but I had all your back podcasts, so I was listening to them. When I was hanging out with my friends and stuff, I would just stay at home and listen to TalkRadar until I got my.
You're welcome, honey.
Yeah.
What is it?
I appreciate that because I stay home a lot and listen to podcasts instead of doing things.
That was like a stage completion sound for your life, Hank. It's pretty great. Henry and I listen to like both the same podcast anyway. We at least listen like 3 or 4 of it.
Dude, Comedy Death Ray.
Apatow's on this week. Just saying.
What?
Yeah, WTF.
Whoa.
Just saying. I can't recommend another podcast on our podcast. It's ridiculous.
Phase on 117, and I just really wanted to thank you for introducing me to the
Chess Master music
Ugh.
really just made
You're
my
so
week last
welcome.
week. To me, it sounds like if the Rugrats guy and the Animal Crossing guy had an autistic child and made a music theme, that would definitely be its theme. So if you've got any more chess music laying around, I'd love to hear it. Thanks.
Frankly,
Love the show.
we were hogging the Chessmaster music. It was almost wrong of us to not play it as long as we did.
Oh God!
Interesting factoid, apropos of nothing. The Rugrats guy is also the Devo guy, Mark Mothersbaugh.
Bullshit, is it really?
Yeah.
I love Mothersbaugh.
Yep.
Friday, before we all left work, Tyler turned on the... I started playing the Chessmaster theme really loud, and then Tyler's like, no, let's load it up from the ROM directly. And the ROM sounded even worse. I mean, the copy of Chessmaster we had in the office.
The Super NES ROM inside the cartridge.
Yeah.
Probably
I said ROM
loaded
jest.
off the thing and phone call.
Hey, TalkRadar. I just wanted to say that I had fun on the marathon.
Is that new?
I think so. Yeah.
Hey, TalkRadar. I just wanted to say that I had fun on the marathon.
Me too.
Except you know, all the people shouting at once, so I couldn't get my point across. And also getting disconnected and not being able to join any game. And also
Michael's
not
fault.
being able to get any of your gamer tags on my friends
Brett's
list.
fault.
So I had fun. It was alright. And I love you. Bye.
Apparently
Your
Charlie's
fault. Yeah.
Apparently Charlie's fault.
It's your fault he loves you.
No. That was
You
great.
asked
I
for it.
hope everybody saw the 24-hour game marathon video.
Oh, the appreciation video.
I'm gonna
It's really cool.
fuck it. I'll post it again in TalkRadar 117 because
I
it's
love that
fantastic.
video.
It's to the sound of Anamanaguchi's
Another Winter.
Another Winter.
That's kind of when I totally lost it, was when Another Winter came on.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, fuck everybody, I'm going in.
It was Felix Nebula when I lost it.
Felix
Nebula.
I said Helix.
Oh, guys! Yeah, that was kind of a weird moment. It's like, they're playing our theme song!
Oh, that was the thing, is after we hung around afterwards to talk to
Yeah.
them, and like, we've always kind of like tried to not mention that we used their song in the beginning.
I personally have taken the stance, don't mention it to them. I don't think they remember we have permission to do that.
Yeah, they could
don't. When we asked, the song was given away for free.
Yeah.
Now it is not. It is sold.
It is sold.
Like
and
a
we're
normal
like,
song.
oh god, they'll start saying, actually, no, we can't. But I talked to them, and he was like, no, that's super cool. And he said the word legendary in there somewhere, and I was like, well, I'm glad you think that.
I mean,
so I'm just really, those guys are fucking awesome.
We're
so
small
they-
scale in the scheme of things, but I mean, I have to imagine like that many people we've turned on to the song.
Yeah, I would
has
think
to, and if 1% of them told them where they got it,
Yep.
I would pay attention.
For sure. Yeah, no, those guys are super cool, and if you got $10 to spare, buy their album and then tell them TalkRadar sent you.
Any of their albums.
Those guys were awesome. It was great meeting them. I just wish I could remember it a little bit better. But
it is a bit fuzzy.
I wish I didn't have to leave to go to the bar.
I barely remember you being there.
And they kept talking about you, Henry, like after you left.
Yeah. Oh.
They did. We really wanted to meet Hank.
Yep.
And they said, I want to be in his corner.
Oh, and thanks also to John Rabbit for sending that
Jesus,
TalkRadar
fantastic.
Knots print. That was fucking awesome.
Oh, man.
It didn't happen as of last recording. Just so you know, Reb.
Hello, TalkRadar. This is Jake, aka One Winged Batista. Unlike certain other forum members, I have the mental capacity to drive and talk at the same time. So I had a question for you. If everybody in this podcast right now were locked into the room and told that only one survivor could leave, who would win and why? Thank you. Bye.
I'm normally very tired. I can see myself giving up and accepting the money going to my girlfriend or father of my
And
life
you're
insurance.
and also smoking too. Like you've got.
Was
I don't
only
know
one
if that-
survivor could leave the room?
Yeah.
I'd just bolt for the door and assume the rest of you would be killed.
How are we dying? What are we surviving? I don't understand.
Are we being forced to fight to the death? What's the scenario here?
Are we fighting? Or are we the room filling with gas?
Is it like Battle Royale where we've all been strapped with explosive collars?
I believe.
Is the ceiling coming down on us?
Look, you guys are being silly. You're overthinking this. I get it. It's part of the show. I think what he meant is who would be the first to die of starvation. Like we're just going to sit there, have a lively
Well, wait,
chat.
that's a different.
Until one of us dies of boredom or starvation. I'm going to say it's me. I get bored really fast. I run out of cigarettes. Like, was Tyler? Someone was yelling at us about smoking. Like, you and your stupid routine. I'm like, it's not a routine. It's a fucking break from routine. You don't have that. You can't leave a conversation.
No, I walk to the.
That's
candy
true.
bowl.
If your cigarettes meter falls down to 0, your controls become reversed, and it becomes very
right.
easy to walk off a cliff.
Oh, it's a limbo brain slug, and there's nothing I can do.
I just turn to my lizard bust and stare at his teeth.
Okay. Action figures fucking. All I'm saying.
I don't know. I think. Well,
I think you'd make it, Henry.
What? No.
I think you would.
I have a lot of fat to live off of. It's a starve. To
I
live
forgot about that scenario. That was not an insult.
But if it's, but no, if like, I don't know, if somebody came in here with a gun and forced us to fight to the death until, and he would kill whoever couldn't walk out, like, I don't know, I'm in terrible shape, so it wouldn't be me.
What are you talking about? You look fantastic.
I don't know. I put it between you and Brett, but you're a smoker and Brett isn't. I'd say Brett's in better shape than you. So
I will pull hair and kick balls.
I got no hair to pull,
I think
baby.
Chris is going to fight dirty too.
Yeah, everybody is.
Totally going to fight dirty.
The answer is...
I'm going to bite your Achilles heel and then spit it on your balls, hopefully at a velocity where it'll hurt your balls too. Otherwise, I just wasted my time. Because it's... All right, next phone
I guess
call.
there's a lesson there.
Well, this is Turbo on the Game
TDar Turbo!
And I've been working on my Christopher Walken impersonation.
Turbo, by the way, is the responsible for the TalkRadar Wiki, who also has a Twitter account, TDar Wiki, I believe. Wiki, but it's very in-depth, keeps everything up to date. It's everything you ever want to know about the stupid podcast.
Wow, Christopher Walken there. I must say, I saw a new game. It was very odd. There was a dog, and he was playing a piano. I don't understand. Wow.
It's at least as good as Tyler Wilde's.
Yeah.
I will give you that.
Playing.
That's
piano.
That's right.
Piano.
Punctuation belongs in the middle of all words.
Michael, I've seen you looking at that Metroid boss all evening. What do you...
I've been looking at several different Metroid bosses.
All right. I don't
All
want to
right.
give any spoilers. So.
Yeah, what the fuck is up, guys? It's Strangle Me from Brooklyn again.
Uh-oh.
Just calling to let you guys know I was listening, as I usually do, to an old podcast. And one of the one I was listening to, Rock Band DLC that week, was Chris said there was like a Megadeth pack or a Megadeth song, and he also mentioned how much he hates Megadeth, and oh my god, that burned me up when I heard that shit. Jesus. It just kills me, because I mean, obviously you guys don't know, but as well as a huge gamer, I am a huge metalhead, and I realize not everybody's gonna like metal, and you know, whatever, not everybody likes the same shit, but when you have such a connection, the one that I do with you guys, you know, you expect or you want those people you feel so connected to like everything that you like. So when I heard that, it just...
First of all, calm down, Guido.
Shit.
Way too...
But anyway.
I can do this.
Huge metalhead. But, you know,
Dago
you guys
Guinea
like to know
douchebag.
that, and
I don't give a shit what you play out of your eye rock.
I fucking love TalkRadar.
Wow!
But I feel that I have the right
I love
to
Strangle
take
Me.
more than 30 seconds to say this to you because
You
it's
need your own
killing me.
podcast, sir. He's very articulate.
That's true. He could be pretty good on a podcast.
That is a very good point he makes, because I all the time when you're like...
That Megadeth doesn't rules.
No, Megadeth.
So,
I hate Megadeth. But.
Yeah, fuck yeah. The only point he made is no different from the point my high school bathroom wall made several years ago. Yes, sir, they rule. I
Brett,
get it.
Did you mean that finding out that people you like don't like?
Yeah,
the
like it always
same
sucks when you
thing?
find out like celebrities you follow or people that you like.
I don't
Then
dislike.
also dislike something that you personally love, and you're like,
That's
"What
true.
the fuck? You betrayed me!"
I don't dislike Megadeth.
Or like, you know, you get to like somebody's work and then you read about
Yeah.
them and then you find out that they talk shit about how Obama's a Muslim or whatever.
Right.
I don't
Yeah,
dislike
I was
Megadeth.
such a big fan of
but I
Victoria
found
Jackson.
out. Let me say this. I don't dislike Megadeth, but I was very disappointed to find out their music is not as distinct and awesome as their posters and album covers. Everything sounds the fucking same. It's stupid.
They had a Gears of War song, you know.
Did they?
Gears of War.
Yeah.
Gears of War.
I'm sorry, I don't hate like the Puerto Ricans next door. Whatever the fuck is happening,
Wait,
whatever
oh.
borough you're living with. I'm talking about Strangle Me now.
Oh, I see.
His New York accent. These fucking Dominicans. I gotta listen to Megadeth. All this chinga-changa stuff going on down the street. Fucking Dominican Day Parade. What am I gonna do? Trying to get in my walk. Gotta work down at Ground Zero, still bringing up bodies. Fucking 10 years later. Trying to build a mosque next to my place. Not while I'm playing Megadeth.
Let's not get into that.
No, this is my new character. I'm the Ground Zero construction worker, and I play Megadeth on my site.
Just to add a dissenting opinion, I'm completely indifferent to Megadeth.
I only know.
I'm so glad that popped in there. I did not want to continue with this at all. I had no idea where I was going. This is how real radio people get into trouble.
Yeah. I only know Megadeth from like being a kid, like 80s and 90s, and then also they had a song on the Mortal Kombat Annihilation soundtrack.
Which one?
Benchmark of quality.
The actual soundtrack.
I knew of them because they did the when Goldberg, the wrestler, came back from like a hiatus. They like, we replaced Goldberg's theme song. We got a new theme song by Megadeth, and then like they come out and play his new theme song live.
Shit.
But the audience hated it.
Next phone call.
I'm sorry.
Yo, what's up? It's Strangle Me once again.
Nope.
See, I just remember them because every artistically inclined kid would draw Vic Rattlehead all over everything in junior high.
Next phone call.
Good evening, TalkRadar. It doesn't really matter who I am, but the point is your podcast is a wonderful backdrop to the sounds of my rape dungeon. Anyway, so to ask.
Agreed. It was a wonderful podcast. I'm going to play two more, and then we're going to get the fuck out of here.
Hey, TalkRadar, this is Brahma Bine, a.k.a. Faggotron on
Hi.
the forums. Just wanted to say, good job on the radar, on the podcast. Barely started on 114, so I'm a new listener. I'd like to ask you guys, what do you guys think about the Scott Pilgrim movie bombing in the box office?
This phone call was before we recorded the podcast last week.
Thanks, guys. Continue the work, and adios.
It sucks that it happens. Almost every movie I love in the theater bombs.
We're very sad. But
Serenity,
It also happened to Watchmen and Kick-Ass, apparently, so I don't know that bad.
Everything you'll like, everything that's cool, everything that appeals to the audience listening will bomb because people want to see Miley Cyrus in something.
I'm not crying. No, the last Miley Cyrus movie didn't do very good.
Oh, okay, thank you, Henry.
But
That joke
anyway,
wasn't funny.
I wasn't crying over the failure of Watchmen. It wasn't bad. But
I really.
They want to see the movie with the Rambo and
oh
the
my
Jason
God! Do you want to come on here? And speak for, you want to come on here and speak for Alan Moore again?
After Expendables beat Scott Pilgrim that weekend, like so bad, like I felt like shit that we saw Expendables in the same. Like we,
especially that's the only movie I paid for.
What?
I paid for both.
I paid for both too.
That's not the fucking. I did. I don't have the balls to do that anymore.
I wish that's one
we talked
regret.
about it. Like we spent a good chunk of one of the podcasts a few weeks ago talking about
this last
Scott Pilgrim, and it's fucking.
You
terrible.
had major Scott Pilgrim spoilers, by the way, on last week's.
Oh, I didn't realize that because I was.
Yeah, you really should have warned people.
I was in it, and I haven't read book 6, and I don't remember any spoilers.
Yeah, the stuff I read about book 6 didn't happen in the movie.
Well, yeah, it was different, but
there are lines from book 6 that appear in the movie.
Yeah.
And they take something out of book 6 and kind of make it suck in the movie. But
yeah,
whatever.
who are you, Square Enix embargo on Dragon Quest?
Yeah.
What?
No, I'm just saying. Well, it seemed pretty obvious, from the script of the movie, that Brian Lee O'Malley he knew basically where he was going to be in book 6, but all the particulars are different.
It's so weird, though.
For those who wonder what I was just referring to, without spoiling anything, the microchip.
Yeah. No idea.
Okay.
Last phone call.
Yeah, I didn't really like
Hey, it's Jesse Jelly Diggler 29, and long time ago I left a message, but was never played. And I just had a question for you guys about what your favorite main menu in a game was.
Ooh.
Thank you. I've been listening since
I got mine.
55, and I love every minute.
I got mine good because I want to play the music in the background too. It's new. It's new now, but it's just Uncharted 2. It's like the perfect start to any game.
Yeah, that music is fucking awesome.
Oh yeah. I really like Super Street Fighter 4's menus. I just like the opening graphic of Ken and Ryu, they slam in together, and then the music playing, it really gets me excited to play. But also, Metroid Prime's title screen and menus of the save screen, it's fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, those are really good.
All the crazy shit going on in the background, and the music is really creepy, and it was I
feel like I'm listening to a very cool Bloodstream.
Yeah,
it's like a Bloodstream, and then also the crazy the weird horror movie sound. It just sounds like that's what Metroid needs to be, is slightly creepy at all times, and the Metroid Prime menu really did it for me.
Well, I have two I really like in the old school Final Fantasy menus where it's just sitting there and you're and then also the similar kind of deal with the Legend of Zelda menus too. Where
the file select.
Yeah, the file select.
Which is in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
One of the best moments of the movie.
And then also, I really another one that springs to mind is I love in the most recent like remakes of Dragon Quest, like when you turn it on, like you just hear the fanfare of the. I love that.
Joyous.
I love the music. And similarly, Metroid Zero Mission has a great title screen into the menus that like really recalls the 8-bit original music, but does it in a really cool way. So that one, I remember
I've been playing it a lot lately because I rediscovered it. I never thought I'd like anything about this game. Tomb Raider. That Tomb Raider starts out with like that light flute. Starts out very light for what the game is. I don't know. Mike?
I'm trying to think of any I like better than Uncharted 2 and Metroid Prime, and I can't.
Metroid Prime. I think you're thinking of Mario 2. That's what you want.
No.
We should just play this while you think.
In that case, the Scott Pilgrim one apes that. That character select is pretty awesome. It's not really a title screen.
I finally bought Scott Pilgrim over the weekend, and I kind of hate it by myself.
Really?
It really needs to.
Fucking shame. Did you buy it on Xbox?
Yeah.
No online co-op?
There's no online co-op, and just by yourself, it's really hard.
It is better on multiplayer, but if you're okay with grinding a little bit,
I'm not okay. Like those kind of games, it's like imagine Streets of Rage where you have to grind. I just want to fucking play and hear the music.
That's River City.
Because I know the music is going to be awesome, and I just want to hear the music, and I want to play the game, and I want to see the bosses, and I want to see it all. But instead, I got to grind for fucking.
Well, you are going to have to play through basically like every level twice.
More like 4 times.
What you're do? We're going so long.
All right, what are we closing with? We're going to be at PAX this weekend.
PAX this weekend. Henry, what do you got this week? You just wrote something. You wrote the top 7 this week?
I wrote the top 7 this week, but you also see a Spider-Man feature for me on Thursday, or you already did see it. Also, there's maybe more Spider-Man in the future for me. I wonder what.
We'll be
Spider-Man game is coming out on Tuesday.
Come down to PAX and ask a games journalologist.
That's Wednesday, and then Saturday night.
Yes,
this weekend we'll be hanging out at probably GameWorks. Just come up and fuck with us.
Come up, request a sound effect. We'll have a mic. I will put every one of you on air, and will not end the podcast until all of you are on air.
Yes.
Dare me? Dare me?
I dare you.
Fine. What are we closing with, Michael? It was a song I wanted to play.
We're closing with a Zelda CDI remix by Varix, as originally published on SomethingAwful.com.
I love it. Something bad made into something good.
Yeah.
I guess I better get going. How about a kiss? For luck. Gosh, forget it.
I wonder what's for dinner.
I can't wait to bomb to the donuts. What a laugh.